Let's hop to my Spelljamming friends. So, last session we began our adventure. In the year 1360 DR, Varsh Voidlight crewed the famed elven warship of the First Unhuman War, the Voidlight. And as it flied towards a place called Morag Space, it was confronted by the new Skrull threat. It was destroyed, which included an unfortunate greenhorn other Hadozi by the name of Squass. And somehow, Varsh Voidlight still stands amongst us all these years later. In the years 1362, Bisan Ascendro drifts on a mostly destroyed squid ship with a Githyanki companion after a mind flare attack. And though it was almost destroyed by Skrull warships, you were saved by none other than the famed Captain Elkin Lunarbow. Your Githyanki companion disappears on one of the defeated Skrull starships, and you join the army. In 1363, Chaplin Fool's Goat is liberated by the elves from his 13-month servitude aboard a Skrull scorpion ship, the Fatal Sting. In this battle, you are liberated alongside your Hadozi friend, a similarly indentured servant by the name of Solar Sail. Into the war's first place, but no longer a great spacefaring security empire that it once was. Indeed, Yersinia Valani steps off of a ship onto the Rock of Brawl as she was recovered by Spelljammer Loradi Suthra, who had recovered Yersinia on a place called Prakatha, and invited them to join a new ship, the New Dawn, as all of you were as well, having all received letters of offer of employment aboard the New Dawn, a cutting-edge spelljammer, which needs a crew of the very best veterans of the Unhuman War from, of course, the elf side, taking in all manners of stragglers and malcontents and out-of-work veterans of the war. You have all been welcomed aboard the ship with none other than Bisan's original rescuer, Captain Elkin Lunarbow, with Yersinia's friend, Spelljammer Laradi Suthra. You all joined the New Dawn, you all assembled into your various roles, you departed the Rock of Brawl at incredible speed thanks to Chaplin Fool's Gold. And all of you began to sort of meet out the systems, learn the crew, sort of fit into your various roles. Varsh sort of leaning towards the Aura side of things. Yersinia leaning towards the Spelljammer side of things. Bisan taking to the artillery, and Chaplin being the bosun. You are all hunting Skrull pirates. This is your first objective on the New Dawn. And that is where we pick up today. After waking up the next day, the day is going to be... it's been 3 standard days since when? It is worth noting that typically people in Wild Space, all of you would know, don't keep track of the calendar as normal people do, as calendars are kept track of in very different ways in different planets, so it's hard to keep track of. Spacefarers only keep track of standard days and standard weeks and standard months. That's the only real thing they keep track of. So it has been, you are now on 3 standard days since all of you were on the Rock of Brawl the day before you began to crew the New Dawn. It is day 3 of your voyage, and it's going to take it's going to take a little time. It's going to take a little time to get to your destination. You are moving at a solid cruise speed here, which is good. But all of you have, you have the day. You have the day. What would you all like to do as you wake up on the New Dawn? The hum of the Spelljammer engine, or the Spelljammer around you. What would you all like to do aboard the New Dawn?
I'm definitely going to be looking to see if I can prank somebody.
Fair enough. Looking for a mark. 100 million miles, 24 hours. No problem there. Certainly no problem there. All right, let's see here.
Probably
Uh,
probably something simple like misplacing, hiding an item of interest or something like that.
Understood. Understood. 200 million. I just need to remember how long it's gonna take to get to your destination because you were hunting pirates off of the island, the planet of Glyph, and Glyph is uh, a billion miles from the sun. Toril's 200 million. So it's going to be 5 days. You've already done one day. You have 4 days left of travel before Glyph. You're going to prank someone. Who's the prime target, Chaplin? I wonder. You've got a number of people. You see people sort of working the deck. You see this insectoid Thry-Kreen. There is the big hippopotamus man, the Commandante, as he's called. There are many elves, young elves aboard the ship. And then there is, of course, the crew you sort of been lumped in to take your meals with, your fellow companions. What would you like?
Yeah,
Who do you think is the prime
probably.
target?
So it'll be, I guess, it'll be looking for a combination of whoever seems to be taking themselves the most seriously, and um, and an obvious opportunity. So somebody lays down a tool or sets aside something meaningful.
Okay, okay. Let's see if we can get someone new in the mix here. You see this plasmoid who he doesn't take himself very seriously. He also only takes himself seriously. Also, you see this like elven fellow who hasn't really smiled since he's been on board, and just is kind of taking himself quite seriously.
Oh
He's
yeah,
got
that,
yeah.
that's a prime sin. He's got a smile, so we'll figure it out.
All right, you see this person has like a standard equipment set. They've got like their bow and arrow. They got their quiver. I think you'd see them on deck, sort of like restringing their bow, being like extra tedious about it. Um, you would hear, oh, who's our second? Oh yeah, no second mate on the ship. You hear the captain say, "Oh, what's this person's name? I gotta decide this person's name in this moment." Slowly naming the crew as I go. Um, Looks at this individual and says to him, says, "Mr. Wasira, I could use your help spanning the forecastle canvas." And just sort of lets a nod and kind of thoughtlessly sort of leaves the bow on deck.
Yeah, probably um I'll try to grab a hold of the bow and unstring it on one end and see if I can, depending on how it's strung, see if I can like severely loosen the string so that when they go to pull it back, it's just nothing but like slack.
Okay, fantastic. Are you proficient with? Yeah, you are. You got at least simple weapons. Make me like a sleight of hand check. See if you can conceal this.
Oh, 9.
9. You sort of go to like loosen the string, and it sort of, and the string just like fully comes off, and the bow is unstrung by accident. You don't fully loosen it. You unstring it. It's not broken or anything, but it needs to be
Right.
restrung. What do you do?
I giggle and tuck it away.
Okay, you just like leave it unstrung.
Yeah.
You just tuck it away and you wander off. Uh, the the elf returns. It kind of like looks at the bow and goes, "Oh my god!" They're like from beside the deck. You see they're like, "What happened?" And like pick it up and look at it, and they have this look of like, "How is this possible?" Like on their face, like they're blaming themselves. Clearly, they're like, "I don't." But I I've restrung this bow hundreds of times. I don't know.
I
Just doesn't
definitely
seem
want to
to.
comically peek around a corner.
You comically peek around a corner, visibly, or is this
Uh,
like sort of like the
hopefully,
office in the
like
background?
I would be trying to make it visible to other people, but not that particular elf. I want someone else to.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sort of visible to other people, and they kind of see the elf like looking like, how is this possible? Str- I've strung this bow hundreds of times in my many years of life. Um, and you're like sort of Kramer in the background, like, get a load of this guy. And some of the crew members sort of like, they see what's going on, and there's not like an outward like ha ha ha, but there's like some big grins and some stifled laughter as they kind of wander around the deck, and the elf is just in this state of perplexed, like, how is this possible? Perhaps I'm not the skilled archer I thought I was. Just as like in full self doubt in this moment.
Yay!
Um, incredible. Um, Prank successful, my friend. Prank successful. Okay, incredible. That's a good little start to the morning. Is there anything else for anybody?
I'll consult the orrery. I want to. I'm not so much worried about like whether we're on course or not, but if anything else is like getting, I don't know, if anything's approaching us, I suppose.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Why don't you make me, as it sort of spans out in front of you, make me a, let's call it a perception check.
And
Sort
I'll
of
use,
check around, or investigation, your choice.
and I'll use guidance on myself as well.
Sure.
It's- Perception. That is 21 total.
Very good. You look it over. No moons or comets are in the way of your path. Um, Anything less than like an actual like astral celestial body as such is just sort of like a, you don't know what it is until you see it sort of thing. Um, Nothing as far as you can tell is even close to your ship at this point. There's a couple bodies here and there, but nothing that's going to meet your path. Nothing to worry about.
Cool. I'm gonna tuck the orrery away and kind of huff myself. All is well.
All is well aboard the ship. You will be every now and then. The Or Sunquo, the turtle, the turtle, excuse me, does come and find you and says, "So how's the orrery? Are we on the right course then, Mister Vordlight?"
We're on course, and there are no, well, nothing in our path, nothing approaching. The path is clear.
Oh, excellent to hear. Well, keep up the good work, Mister Voidlight.
Yes, sir.
All right, fantastic. Wanders away. Who else? Yersinia, Bisan, do you guys have anything that you're up to around the deck of the ship?
I think Yersinia is mainly just focused on like their flight practice moment standing. And almost just enjoying people watching, I think, from like the Spelljammer helm, on their like shifts to do it. So like maybe they like took a peek at like whatever the fuck Chaplin was doing, and there's like just a small note to themselves. It's like, don't leave things lying around.
Absolutely, fair enough. Don't leave things flying around. You see that doing a little spying.
Oh yeah, wandering
Eye for sure. Let's see if you learn anything interesting. All right. I'll tell you what. Where on the ship does your wandering eye wander to? There's so many quarters: the brig, the pantry, the cargo holds, the companionways, the mess hall, the quarters. Where would you like to go? Where would you like to see?
I think for now I'm tracking the captain. I think I'm tracking Lunar Bow up there.
Fair enough.
Interesting little fellow.
Yeah, and on the ship, there are several functions aboard the ship, and all have sort of met their place. Chaplin and At function well as bosuns on the ship. The Spelljammer, she's a wandering around, and Elkin fits in the role of both captain and first mate, sort of quartermastering as well, just keeping an eye on everything, and sort of chats with Aurora Songquo. Says, "How's Mr. Voidlight faring?" And says, "Oh, he's keeping an excellent track of the orrery." He goes, "Excellent. Just want to make sure the crew is doing well, and they're all fitting into their roles nicely. Seems a couple of us are particularly ambitious. I like to see it." He goes, "Oh, yes, you should check on that, I would warn you should check on one of the bosuns. A particularly skilled bosun, but likes to, it seems, make a little bit of trouble." And the captain goes, "A little bit trouble is good on the ship. It keeps everyone distracted from, well, anything that could be going wrong," which is nothing, it seems. So we'll leave Mr. Fool's Gold be, I think. And just seems to be sort of assessing and seems deeply interested in the four of you. Will walk over to Spelljammer Suthra and says, Miss Suthra, how fares your Spelljammer understudy?" He goes, "They're natural, taken to things quite well. As you can tell, the ship has been pretty sturdy, whether I've been on it or not." He goes, Good. Well, keep me updated, and we'll see how things go. Not as a superior, but does eventually approach Commandant Dionysos. It says, "Commandant, how fares preparations with the artillery?" He goes, "Ah, Captain, quite well, indeed." It says, "And if you don't mind my asking, I'd like to ask about the Githzerai aboard. How are they faring?" It says, "A right sharp artillerist, I see. A right sharp artillerist. Happy to be fighting at their side whenever the action calls. Seems to be real sharp and keen for the action to come. Real level-headed sort." It was excellent to hear. I had a good feeling about these four, especially about this Bisan fellow. Could keep their head in a fight. I like to see it. He goes, "Indeed. Is there anything else I could do for you, Captain?" Says, No, please continue your preparations." And then just kind of gives like a little look around, like okay, things are going well, and kind of, for the crew that is in front of them, seems happy what they got. And then you guys are not combat tested together yet, but so far so good. Captain seems content.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's very much just noting down, like, their general talking and how they're acting with each other, and they all seem pretty comfy. So I think over time, Yersinia relaxes in the helm and goes about her business. I do think in times to come, she does try to butt her way into cooking, and whoever's duty that is, and tries to start doing some of that.
Absolutely. You go in for like the breakfast shift after you're relieved, and you find your way to the galley, in which I get to pick another name. Yay, I love this part. Okay, you head to the galley. You see this old, rugged, sort of old salt dwarf guy, bandana, fucking covered in tattoos. This guy is, you know him as Mr. Brawlig. He is Balman Balrig. Bralag. I mispronounced.
I liked Ballman Brawlig.
No, it's Balman Brawlag. And you walk in, he goes, "Oh, you come to the gully, I reckon, for a right bit of stew put in your belly."
No, I'm off the helm right now, and I was wondering if you wanted help cooking anytime.
You want to help?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the cooking as just a way to help people.
Oh, you're a wee little cook. Well, I got good news for you. I want you to do two things, starting with grabbing that ladle over there.
I grabs the ladle because I think the accent's hard for her. So
Yes,
uses the context clues where he looks and is just like, ladle.
Yeah. I goes, all right, give us the tray.
Tray.
You give it a little tasty.
Yeah, if that's what he's going for, yeah, I'll give it a little try.
Yeah. Make me. Are you proficient with cooking utensils?
I am.
All right, make me a proficient wisdom check.
Gotcha. 17.
17. As of now, the stew is like chicken broth, basically, or just like a meat broth. That's all it's got going for it. There's like lumps of meat in it. It's got protein in it.
Yeah.
But that's it, and it's not terribly flavorful as of yet.
Gotcha.
It could use any number of things to make it better. And he goes to you, so what do you think it needs to do to get to the right place where it ought to be?
Do you take constructive criticism well?
Well, that's what I asked for it, didn't I?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I know what to do. It's only half prepped, but I want to see what you think might be best for it.
Can I insight check that?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. That's a 15.
A 15. Yeah, like the stew is like this is no one would serve this.
Yeah.
Because it's half prepared. So you think he's just testing you to see what you know about food? You'd like to see if like you know what you're talking about, or if he should send you to go peel potatoes.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it's pretty thin. It's sort of just a broth of meat. I'd probably make a roux in a different pot and then put this into that so it thickens up a little bit. And we gotta start on veggies soon, or else the flavor isn't even gonna add to it. And she just kind of rambles for a little bit.
He goes, "What's a roux?"
But butter and flour? Butter and flour.
Oh, right, yeah, all right. So we've got a different word for that in Dwarvish. But
What's the
anyway.
word?
Oh, do you speak Dwarvish?
No, but I'd love to learn.
Then don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right, so why don't you hop on that? You make this roux of yours, and I'll keep chopping these vegetables here. And you guys start working, and it seems that like you pass the test, and he isn't going to send you to go peel vegetables for the stew, and you get to do something a little bit more advanced, and you kind of like.
You're sitting
That goes
nervous
back
as fuck.
And he's like giving you the like, and like comes over and just eyeballs you every now and then to see what you're doing and seems to be content. Make me a, what are we gonna call it? Let's call it like, recipes are kind of like, they're an ingredient list. It's a little scientific. Let's call it like an intelligence check. Let's see like a proficient intelligence check to like, you know, pull off what you're trying to do here.
Yeah, I can do that. $22.
Yeah, you make a nice roux like you say. You get it in there. The consistency is very good. You put some spices in, and he's watching you all the while. And you seem to impress. You like. There's always like a moment where you like. He's like. And it's just like this, like you don't know if he's gonna like, it's like he could loose off at you at any moment, but the process goes by and you end up making the stew, and he goes, and like at the end you like sort of pour a bowl, or you like get the ladle out and you just dip it in, you like hand it to him, and he's like, and he like throws the ladle in the stew, it splashes a little bit, and he goes, "That's bringing out right perfect. You'll be right proud of yourself, Spelljammer." Good job, good job. The crew will be very happy with your creation. And like pats you on the back and goes, "Looks like you know what you're doing. Maybe you're cooking before you're piloting, weren't you?"
A little bit. Yeah, my family didn't like to cook a lot.
Alright, I don't need your whole fucking backstory. Let's go serve it.
You're right. I don't know. Yeah. I can't Do you need your glasses, or you just keep taking them off for effect?
He goes, what was that?
Effect. Understood, Mr.
You saying that I can see perfectly?
Yes.
You accusing me of 20/20 vision?
21/20 even.
You might be right, but don't tell no one.
Not
and-
a fucking soul.
And you guys go out and you serve the stew, and everyone's like, it's pretty good. And people enjoy the stew. It's a little bit higher tier than what might be expected out here on the in wild space. Nobody knows what kind of cook they're gonna get, but with your assistance, it seems they have a pretty good one. Incredible. Bisan, let's hear from you. What are you up to? Trying to make friends, no doubt.
I think she is trying to make friends, actually. She's just being awkward about it.
Excellent. You sort of step up onto the deck of the ship with all the rest of the crew. You're handed some stew, and you're like, oh, it's pretty damn good stew. And you see people sort of going here and there, checking the rigging, sort of prepping the artillery, and you got a lot of options. The captain's wandering about, sort of inspecting everything. The oarer's present. Your sort of your, I guess we'll call them like galley mates. Your galley mates are sort of around, these people that you're sort of to take meals with. Lots of options to try and make friends with.
Actually, didn't Dionysus offer to spar me?
I believe he did.
I would like to spar with Dionysus.
All right, you go find Dionysus. He's just like, sort of like checking the stringing on the ballistas, making sure everything is well and good. And you approach, and he goes, fine morning, Bisan. How are you today?
It is a good morning. I have not practiced sparring. This is not good. You offered? Did you want to fight?
Yes, you want to have a little tussle? Haha. All right, and a tussle you'll have. Let us just approve it with the captain. Some, usually they're not usually military regulation. Not that we are a military vessel anymore, but it's good to check.
Above the table, like, do we dip our swords in wax? Like, how do we do non-lethal damage? Because obviously I'm not looking to hurt the dude.
As long as you specify, so non-lethal damage in D&D can only be dealt with melee blows.
Okay.
Not including magic. Yeah, magic is not ever non-lethal. It is a spell. If you shoot lightning at someone, they will die.
But if I use a sword, I can use the flat of my sword instead of the blade.
Exactly. So with that said, he will not be trying to shoot you with his gun. So
that would be great.
Okay, great. I gotta find this guy a stamp block. But anyway, you guys approach the captain, and the commandant says, "Captain," and sort of stands at attention. And the captain says, at ease. What is it that I can do for the two of you?" And he goes, "Captain, me and we've done our morning duties on the artillery, and a little friendly spar me and Bisan would like to try out. Would that be in accordance with the captain's wishes?" So I says, good question. Normal military regulation says fighting is not allowed, which leads me to think that wouldn't it be fun to give it a shot? And the commander goes, "Ha! Right you are, Captain, if that is what you feel." And he says, "All right, we'll give it a test. But yes, if you wish to spar, I would ask that you, of course, do so in such eased down times, and certainly ask the permission of an officer before proceeding. Does that sound fair?"
Yes.
The gift looks at you. Yep. He goes, "Oh, yes, spoken fine by me as well, Captain. Thank you." It says, "Very good. And perhaps lower deck, where we're not in the way of people trying to do their jobs. He says, right you are,
Perfect
Captain,
sense.
right you are.
Perfect sense.
And as you walk off, and he says, and no gunpowder, Gif. And he goes, of course, Captain, of course. And he sort of like corks his like powder thing on his hip. That's right, that's right.
Bisan smiles and says, but it's still cool.
It is still cool, isn't it? Oh, I should tell you sometime of my travels on the bombard ships back in the regular military. Oh, good times, good times. You should see the Gef cannons we have, the amount of gunpowder we stuck in those. Enough to blow a small village to the ground. Good times. Anyway, and you guys head below deck. If you give me just a half a second, I want to find a suitable stat block for our gift friend here that is, as I said, suitable, as there are many different types of gifts. This one is mine, as they say. Okay, sure, we'll do this one. This makes the most sense. Okay, you guys head below deck. Ooh, am I making these guys all unique? I am now. Alright, you head below deck, where you, Bisan, and your gift friend, Comandante Dionysos, is going to enter into not lethal combat. He goes, alright, and he...
I want to watch this.
Yeah, you can head down, it's a little bit of downtime. People are just sort of like double checking everything that's sort of the work today, other than the Spelljammer, who can see through the arcane eye, which I'm sure you're watching right now, Yersinia.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the crew sort of like gets below deck, and I think the captain will watch as well, just to ensure that, you know, nothing gets brought out of hand, and that not too much crew is, you know, taking time off of work. The gift pulls out the longsword and sort of like gets ready and says, "By all means, after you. You're the challenger, after all." He'll allow you to have the first hand in initiative.
I have a feeling that I will need that. There's a 19 on the dice with my gift apprentice sword. So that was this 19 plus 6 is a 25.
I think, yeah, 25 is gonna hit.
So for 10 damage, but again, I'll use the flat of my sword. I'm not looking to hurt the dude at all.
No worries. I'm going to assume that, unless specified, all damage in this combat will be non-lethal. No problem at all. You sort of this like sort of decisive blow with this and anyone who's watching, this very unique longsword, very alien in design, and sort of like does that sort of flatten the blade, sort of like tap to his ribs, and he goes, "Oh, good shot, fine shot. All right," and he's gonna come at you. He's going to make 2 attacks on you. The first one misses, and it hits into the side of the hull. And he goes, "Oh, sorry, Captain." And then he calls, "Hoo-yah!" He comes in for another one. That's going to be 21 to hit.
That will hit.
He is wielding it two-handed. And he is going to deal 14 non-lethal slash damage as he sort of like brings the blade around, sort of like does the Kingdom of Heaven sort of like tap on the top of the head, as if to say, watch your upper guard.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
fucked her up.
She's still up. She's still standing.
She's still up.
Okay, good. Sort of like taps you like ding in the head, and you kind of are like disoriented, but it was the flat of the blade. But it was like a clear like, ooh, if this wasn't a, you know, this wasn't like a trial combat, I don't have a head anymore. And he sort of like gives you a nod of like, be careful, you know, like keep that, watch that guard. Your turn.
23.
23 will absolutely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
For 9.
For 9. 9 damage does the job. You get a nice shot on him, and he sort of like acknowledges the blow and checks his guard, sort of gets his sword back into the proper defensive position. Takes the blade and sort of comes at you. Very strength, very brutish. Comes at you. First blow is going to be a 12.
That does not hit.
Swings wide, you duck underneath, and then he brings it over his head and comes in for like an upper slice. That's 23 to hit.
That does hit.
You're gonna take.
She only had 1.
She only have 1. Okay, this
one.
and he like brings it down and stops the blade like right in front of your head again. And he says, "You need to watch your head."
It would appear so.
But then sort of like pats you on the back and goes, "Good spar, good spar." We'll say that this wasn't like true damage. It's fine. We don't need to like take a short rest or anything here. We'll just say that was all like delayed blows and like taps on the head and stuff like that. So no real damage dealt. And sort of taps you on the back, and the crew sort of like nods and is like sort of talking with each other about each of you, and it's a friendly atmosphere, it seems, for now, and the captain looks content with this and seems to be willing to allow spars to continue, and sort of says, let all the crew know spars are permitted so long as they're done below deck and with the consent of an officer, and don't even bother asking if we're in battle, gents. We'll have plenty to spar with there. And there's like a, aye, Captain, aye, Captain. And he just goes, all right, back to work. And everyone can kind of proceed back to work.
Bisan will look at Dionysus and say, thank you. Tomorrow?
Sounds like a plan. It's good to keep everything from getting too rusty.
Seems I have a lot to learn.
Don't we all? Fantastic. All right, you all head above deck again. And he'll talk about the GIF, and he'll be like, I remember my time in the GIF military. There's no finer ships than the GIF ships. I say, they have the largest weapons, and we don't even wear armor. We're just so thick-skinned. And and he just talks about, like, the glory of the GIF military and the bombard ships. And he says, to sail on a bombard ship, there's nothing quite like it. Indeed, it rumbles like any other Spelljammer, but when that cannon fires, it is strong enough to crack a ship in half, I tell you. And just tells you, and he goes, the cannonballs are so big, we have to use cranes to load the cannons. That takes quite a few passengers, and we're all up to the task, big strong fellows, and he sort of takes you over there, and maybe fitting for Bisan, who's like not a big talker. The Commandant is, and just kind of like does a lot of the talk, a lot of the conversation work for you, and takes to you quite quickly. Incredible. And the day will go by where all of you will have your work. Varsh, you will speak to the Auror, who will continue to talk to you and be like quiz you, be like, and which way, is this a planet or is this an asteroid? And you can be like, it's a planet, and very good. And we'll just sort of quiz you on the orrery and see that you know what you're doing, and talk to you about what your current sort of rank features, and polish you on that. It says like, all right, when we're in battle with the ship, it'll be your responsibility, and usually mine. Talk about those sort of things. Same with you, Yersinia, and then there's a lot of tutoring going along for all of you guys, minus Chaplin, who it's just Chaplin and At, and you guys are sort of learning through experience, as you always have, and are just doing fine work. And the captain sort of peeks over your shoulder every once in a while, but seems quite content with your maintenance of the ship. And all goes well today. All's sturdy and fine, and there are no random encounters today. You guys have a nice day. Is there anything else anyone would like to do on this second day in Wild Space? Okay, no worries at all. You guys all, have your meal together. All 4 of you sort of are lumped into the galley at your specific meal time. You are fed. Well, yeah, I'm gonna force that a little bit on you guys. You all find yourselves to the galley at the end of the day, where you are all, you've done your work, whether that be like the fun, like hands-on stuff, the tutoring, and then just like the sort of scrubbing the deck bullshit, the stuff that you kind of have to do as a crew, and you're all sort of lumped into the galley at the end of the day, the four of you again. You might all remember Varsh's explanation of what happened with the void light, the sort of, there I was, and all the crew, there was one greenhorn didn't stand a damn chance, and that tension of that last conversation hangs over everything. But you all lump in with some food again. Would there be any conversation, any sort of getting to know one another at all?
Chaplin, that thing with the bowstring, nice. He open for hours after that.
Yeah, wasn't that
Just
hilarious?
talking
It's nice to have
it
some
was
questions
great.
about yourself from time to time.
Yeah, was that the plan? Did you just want him to feel bad?
Not necessarily to feel bad. I think that sometimes we take ourselves a little bit too seriously, and that can lead to, some disappointment down the road. It's easier to take disappointment in small helpings.
Okay. All right. So what's your most recent disappointment?
He kind of, tilts his head sort of mechanically and thinks for a minute, and then he says, well, I suppose it was probably one of the last pranks that I tried to pull off that, I got caught before I was able to complete it, and it didn't go off in time. So, wasted effort, and it's not quite as funny when the prank doesn't come to completion.
Yeah, that tracks. Okay.
By the way, he aside from the first time when he pretended to eat, he is essentially just going to kind of stand behind everyone while they eat, and maybe like tend to dirty dishes and things like that. But he does continue to arrive for the meal times, just because he does enjoy the company, finds it amusing.
Okay, fair enough. Absolutely. I love. I gotta say, I'm already beginning to love the dynamic here. It's like, Yersinia's like, so I want to make friends, or try to anyway, and Chaplin's like, I am the friend, and then Bisan and Varsh are just.
Varsh will quietly eat his breakfast and then check on the same sort of white and black stone, and grab a cloth and wipe it down, and kind of put his ear to it again.
Okay.
Bisan is clearly paying it. Oh, sorry.
No, you first, Bisan.
I was going to say Bisan is clearly paying attention to the exchange between Yersinia and Chaplin, but is not.
There's a point where it's like Yersinia looks at Varsh and is like, still not how to touch anything with going on with that. Looks over to Bisan and is like, the fight, the little spar. How is that? You feel good after it?
Commandant Dionysus is skilled. I look forward to having my ass handed to me in the morning.
Hey, that sounds fun. I'll be there to watch in person this time. I don't want to miss the event.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I will lose again. He's very, very good.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna win, but it's it's good to practice, to keep in shape, like a little morning jog, that kind of thing.
I won't beat him, but I'll beat someone else. And one day. But he is very big and very thick-skinned.
He also has a habit of going for the head.
I have
taking
noticed
advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, if he's going for the head pretty consistently, you could go lower, because realistically, you'll hit him before he does you with, just like the way gravity. Anyway, yeah.
Bisan goes into total quiet, like she's playing the battle back.
and I gotta say, I actually really like this moment where the low-level fighters like talking out sort of like personal combat tactics with the party and sort of being lended suggestions, because you do go back and you're like, yeah, he pretty much exclusively went for the head, and it makes sense. He's a taller opponent, so it's harder for him to aim for your lower extremities, much easier to go for the head. So you're like, yeah, no, they're right. Like, I should take a high guard and probably in turn go for his harder to defend lower extremities. And yeah, you kind of play it out and you're like, yeah, he did go high because he's bigger than me. So obviously it makes sense that he would go for a taller point.
You were right though to aim to evade rather than block. He swings with strength, not speed.
I thought briefly about grappling him. Briefly.
You could maybe disarm, although he seems more. I couldn't help but notice that he keeps gunpowder on him. I don't think he's specialized in melee combat.
So what you should do is start a tiny fire and light the gunpowder up while he's not looking. That's a distraction. Or a
Captain
horrible
said we
mess.
could not use gunpowder.
You're not using it.
I
You're
love
causing a
this idea.
problem.
This sounds like a fantastic idea.
Chaplin's with me.
But I do
The
not
spar
want to
begins,
hurt him.
pulls out a gun and says, I'll kill us both right now if you don't surrender. I'll blow this fucking shit. I'll blow this fucking gun.
I do think Yersinia does her first like little, I guess other than the spell jamming display of magic, and just like when saying start a fire, it just produces a flame just for fun theatrics, and it's like, all right, now I don't know what happens if I drop this.
Wouldn't that be a treat to see that great big old gift dancing around with his powder keg on fire?
No.
I mean, no.
No. If the ship burned down, we would be unhappy.
Oh, that's true. We don't want the ship to burn down.
Do we have fast ways to put out fire? Because if not, then no boom on ship is good.
Duly noted.
Yersinia just gets lost in playing with her produce flame cantrip.
I haven't done this
Is-
before yet, actually.
So this situation looks like it's been like set up kind of family style. So are there like roles and such? Like people are just kind of grabbing food and putting it on their plates, kind of thing.
I think like there is anyone who just like wants a quick snack just heads to the actual galley, but like for meals, like yeah, there's like groups of 4 or 5 of the crew that like go to the mess hall for like a sit down meal together, and they're sort of grouped up, and you get the sense that like this isn't like normal military thing. It's just like everyone has an assigned meal time pretty much at the same time, and then anyone who was sort of tending, there's like 2 meal times usually, but they're running things a little differently here since the captain's trying to, well, you can make an insight check and try to figure out why the captain is formatting the meals this way.
I do not think that she would. What
Okay.
she would do is use her invisible mage hand to grab another roll and like toss it to herself from
Okay.
across the room.
Yeah. Well, I think the point of invisible mage hand, the idea is that it's like telekinesis, right? So you just sort of like look over and just like telekinetically will the roll to fly at you, and you, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, like the mess here, or the galley here, has been set up for like a meal for you guys. Yeah.
Excellent. I can't make fire, but sometimes food comes to me fast.
That's real. If we're fighting like someone who's just had dinner, you can just pull it out of their stomach, you know?
I might need my sword first, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm just learning this whole magic thing, so sure.
As we're discussing magic, kind of like bring my hand to my face and just kind of like start making like weird gestures. Oh wait, no, it's just vocal. Can I go blue? And then I look at Yersinia. Are my eyes blue now? As I cast Thaumaturgy.
I get so close.
I think it's very obvious to see like Varsh's eyes go pupilless and everything are just like a slight blue.
Oh, Chaplin definitely takes a very invested interest in this. He probably is going to get up very close and like try and
Blue.
see blue eyes. That's a neat trick.
I recently came into some magical abilities of my own. Nothing particularly impressive. Party tricks, practically, as he kind of like undoes the spell and his eyes turn back to their usual like amber.
Hey, I party tricks are fun though. I've got one that I'm working on. Okay. Check this one out. Whoosh, and fog cloud is casted in the mess room.
You're all suddenly like a smoke bomb. Like this is a world of wild space where like grenades and muskets and smoke powder all exist. It's like someone dropped a smoke grenade in here and there's suddenly a goes off and you're all fancy shit.
Chaplin's giggling uncontrollably. Party tricks are some of my favorite types of magic.
I think Yersinia does this and uses it as like the perfect opportunity to Irish exit because she thinks that'd be cool.
Make a stealth check at advantage because everyone is considered blinded right now by your fog cloud.
That
And
is-
confused because I didn't announce what I was doing. Where's my stealth?
Dude, somebody make a piece. Come on, somebody make a PC that has fog cloud and has the spell exclusively for dramatic entrances. Why is that
I
happening?
just did. 16.
that
I'm gone.
Most
That
shit
is-
gets done
I'm so happy.
automatically.
16 for stealth, by the way.
16 for stealth. Does anyone have a passive perception of 16 or higher than 16? I should say.
Nope.
I'd be impressed at this level. Okay. As the smoke clears, you probably drop concentration as you leave. The smoke
Yes.
sort of thins out and disappears in the atmosphere, and you're like, oh, that was like, you know, you all kind of get out of the smoke, and Yersinia's gone. And to Yersinia's credit, like very ninja-like. Like nobody knew that Yersinia was gone.
We're level 1, so I think like a little down the hallway you hear a thud and a oh fuck.
I mean, if you want to, but you rolled well on your stealth, and people.
It's funny. We'll keep it light at low
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. You guys are like, wow, that was actually like really impressive. And you hear like, or you like bump into.
Yeah, it's like a scramble to just get away fast at this point.
Yeah, you bump into Mr. Brawlog like in the hall as you're like, yeah, I'm so fucking cool. And then like Brawlog like opens the door with like dirty plates and like bumps into you. And they like fall on the floor. He's like, "Oh, you go over here, eh? I mean, you think that I'm cleaning this up? This is your job. You better get a broom and clean it up right now."
I don't speak Dwarvish, and I keep running.
He goes, fuck, I got you for this. And for the rest of the night, Mr. Brawlag will be like, oh. So yeah, you all hear and experience this.
All right.
Speak Dwarvish.
Yeah. Chaplin is clapping with glee. That was fantastic.
Surely stuck the landing there, but the initial disappearance was impressive.
I gotta say, I'm just like a big fan of the party's like going to dinner action shot. Like it's pretty sweet. Like the levels, like we got like full poses. Like that's an album cover right there.
I want you to know, getting Yersinia's hand on her hip took a lot longer than you'd fucking expect it to.
All
Oh,
right,
yeah.
when you have to bend the elbows and the shoulder and all that.
It was
Yeah.
a solid like half hour of work to get it just right in Hero Forge.
Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, it looks like your shoulder's dislocated.
Yeah, that was the best I could do.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay. You guys are... Yeah, I do that too. I'm like doing Hero Forge and I'm like... Yeah, okay. It's just Hero Forge makes it look stupid, but... yeah.
That joint doesn't sit that way.
No.
Yeah, Hero Forge does not actually think about anatomy. It just like goes on vibes. So
Have you ever unbent or bent the elbow after a predisposed pose where like the full elbow just like the shoulder doesn't move, like mine's gonna move because I'm a human, but it goes like
Yeah.
that, and you're like,
Yeah.
it's like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, that's
What?
so. Just like, don't look at Yersinia's arm too hard. Just know she's sassy.
Just know she's sassy, guys.
I would probably say the same about Varsh's arm at the back there with the sword.
I
That's
saw
why-
that. I respect it.
I think it came out pretty good there, Varsh. Mind you, you are wearing black, so it kind of hides things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hides the whole arm is backwards.
Is that true? That's hilarious. All right. Anyway.
Any way I could ever actually manage that.
Yeah. You guys could all head to sleep. To the sound of the ships booming and humming through wild space. Day 3 comes around. It looks like we're gonna have some stuff going on.
Oh,
Hey,
hey.
Yes, give me a thing.
Stuff into things, yo. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. So excited. All right, let me get that random encounter table out.
I love like travel time because it means that on the filler days I can use spells with free regard and just get them back later.
Right, right.
Got it. And here I was hoping you're gonna be like, oh, like Ryan runs like travel so well, like on like other DMs, it's so entertaining and fun.
I
But
do
no,
like
it's
the
fine.
travel.
It's
I
fine.
do like
No,
the
no,
travel.
no, it's fine,
There's
whatever.
the extra perk of getting able to use Fog Cloud for no fucking reason at the end of the day.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Ryan, to kill you.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I don't know why I put this. Sorry, I'm just trying to I'm working on figuring out how best to organize all of my Spelljammer documents here. All right, here we go. Random encounter. Ooze Astral Menagerie. Wild space encounters. All right, who wants to roll a D100?
Oh, I have one.
I'm cursed, but I'll do it.
99.
Okay, cool.
99 is what I hear. All right.
I'm sorry, I read that wrong. 69.
Ha, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the 6 number, guys. Did you know that?
Okay. Oh my god. Do me a favor and roll me a D10 now, if you'd be so kind.
5.
All right, 5. As you guys, this is actually a lot of. This is gonna be a cool day. You guys sort of drop out of wild space, and there's like the captain sees this, and he looks down to, report, Spelljammer. What do you see? We're gonna roll to see which Spelljammer is on the helm right now. Hey, it's you right now, Yersinia. Your Spelljammer's like right beside you. She's ready to take over if you need. I need you to make me a Spelljammer. Oh, fuck, you are a Spelljammer. I don't know why I said that. Make me a perception check. That is the word I was looking for.
This is one of the things I do.
See, I said the captain's more experienced. The Aura doesn't look for things. It's the Spelljammer, because the Spelljammer receives from everywhere and says, somebody get me eyes on whatever's out there. So whoever wants to can make a perception check.
My perception, if you're saying Spelljammer is a 16.
16. You go looking and you see off in the distance these little sort of whitish, orangish lights in the distance, about 1,000 feet off, as that's where you came at a cruise speed.
Gotcha. Message cantrip to big captain guy. Just white orangish lights. Off in the insert direction here.
Yeah. They sort of run to the side. Everybody's sort of keeping an eye on. Upon sort of being forced out of cruise speed, all of the artillerists sort of like run to their various duties. Everybody is quiet as you guys begin to approach. The captain takes out their spyglass and sort of like looks off in the distance. Goes, okay. Everybody off of the. Or this is. Unman the mangonels. I want all GIF and all firearms bowmen at the ready, just in case. And some people sort of, whoever has ranged weaponry who isn't manning a ballista sort of gets to the side of the ship, sort of not manning the mangonel. It says, all right, everybody, this is an important spell jamming lesson right now. Here we are. We have aboard our ship, we have 2 different forms of weaponry aboard our ship. We have a mangonel and we have a ballista. A mangonel is only capable of targeting a large or larger creature. Ballistas can target up as small as a small category creature or larger. No more. And yes, there are GIF ships where there are giant canyons that can only target huge or larger creatures and object sizes. The GIF looks happy with himself that he got his people's recognition thrown in there just because. And says, so for the sake of this, we don't know what we're coming upon, but I think it is no larger than a small creature. So ballistas at the ready. Bows at the ready. The Commandant just takes out his gun and is at the ready. The elves have their bows. Bisan, you're probably manned at the ballista. And as you come upon it, you see sort of sailing by these little white lights, where the captain calls out, keep an eye on them, but they're will-o-wisps. And they sort of, these just like little lights just sort of like float by. You all watch, some with awe, some with tension to see what they do, but seemingly indifferent to the ship as they just sort of wander by these little lights. You see one of the crewmen, like, as it goes by, is like, and the captain's like, da 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 da, and like immediately just like gets shocked, like they stuck a fork in a wall outlet, and just and sort of just falls over, and everyone just sort of like they let out like a little laugh as he, yeah, pretty much lets out like a little laugh, and the guy's just like on the ground like a little like oh. He goes, ugh. The captain just sort of like just it says, somebody take him down to the cargo hold, please. And they do. They sort of like ship him off, but it seems that the will-o-wisps sort of wander by. Says, all right, everyone at ease. They're passing us by. Seem no interest in us. We'll get back to cruise speed in a second, but before we do, let's see. I need some volunteers. I think we're going to do some fishing.
Yersinia wants to dish the Spelljammer helm immediately.
Yeah, you look at Spelljammer, Laradi, and she gives you like a smile and says, all right, go on. And like,
okay, thank you.
Touches you, takes over the helm, sits down, you kind of run out. It says, very important for restocking the stores, and this will be a good educational lesson for learning how to keep your ship stocked when you're long at sea and are out of stores. Fishing in the Astral Sea can be tricky business. Who wants to take part?
Varsh will raise his hand.
Mr. Voidlight? So, Mrs. Sandro? Anyone else?
Oh, I'm here. I'm also here.
Says Miss Yersinia?
Yersinia Villani. Yes, Captain.
Miss Villani. I says, very well. And if there's nobody else, let's get to it. Um,
Is there
well,
a?
yeah, go ahead.
I happen to notice in my jerry rig there's something for if you work on the hull, all ship checks receive a +2 bonus. So if there's some piece of equipment or whatever that I can jerry rig to help this venture, I'd be happy to.
Got it. Yeah, we'll see that you sort of, the captain sort of tells you guys where the cargo space is and tells you guys to go collect the fishing equipment and such. And you do, and then maybe Chaplin, you kind of like set up like a fishing area. Go ahead and make your roll.
Okay. Oops, sorry.
No worries, take your time.
20. I'm good.
20, good job. The captain says, "Or take over the wheel," and so Spelljammer, when ready, return to cruise speed. And all of you guys make your way to the back where Chaplin has set up a, I guess like a place for fishing poles to be sort of like held in and like a little bait trap and such. And yeah, you'll give a little bonus to everybody. But it seems that the captain's going to be running fishing, and goes, "All right, excellent. We're going to do some fishing. I love fishing. It is a good pastime of mine. All right. It is very popular pastime in wild space in the astral sea. There's, if you want to get good in with any captain, just talk to him about fishing. Now, all of you should currently have a basic fishing equipment set. And if you look inside, you have a pole, a line, a hook, and either a lure, or thank you to Mr. Chaplin or Mr. Fool's Gold, some bait. It says, all right, we're going to do a little hour of fishing. So begin to cast off, and he begins to show you guys all how to hook your, put your line on your hook and how to put your thing on your pole. And the captain seems very excited and sort of going to give you guys a personal lesson on.
I want to believe that Varsh has done this hundreds of times out of the astral sea.
Oh yeah, you know what you're doing. You've been out here a long time. Good chance that you as well, Bisan, if this is something that you would have been interested in.
I've never held a fishing pole in my life.
Yeah, you're like, what?
The fuck is this?
The captain is very happy to give you personal lessons, Yersinia. You're sort of you see what do you think, Bisan? Do you think you've done? You think you've been an avid astral fisherwoman? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's something that she would have absolutely gotten into.
Yeah, so Yersinia, you're there, and you see Mr. Voidlight and Miss Isandro sort of begin rigging their fishing poles expertly, and you're just kind of yeah, exactly. And the captain very happily is here, let me show you, and we'll sort of in Ghost with Patrick Swayze, he comes around you and I'm kidding. It doesn't do that.
I say, I'm horny.
Oh no. Who was the? Oh, I get what you mean by fishing.
Horrible.
Just sort of comes up and does take the pole from you and says, you want to rig it like this and do that. So here you go. Then no, you give it a try, and is very kind and shows you the what to do, and you cast it in. And you guys are gonna do about an hour of fishing today. Everybody, make me a survival check. Who's fishing? Mr. Fool's Gold. What is the benefit you'll be helping our friends out with?
Yeah. So +2, I guess, to to the tackle in general or to the lures, either way.
Okay, so we'll say for this particular check, you'll all gain a +2. Thank you to Chaplin.
That would be 22 then.
22. All right, 22.
I got a nat 1 for a 3.
Oh fuck! All right, you do.
No, I'm sorry, for a 5, but still.
For a 5, you get one on the end of yours, and you're like, and the captain's like, oh great, now just reel it in. Now just be careful not to pull too hard. You don't want to break the line. You go immediately, having Colin go as hard as you fucking can, and the line completely snaps and you lose it. And he goes, that's okay. First time fishing. What did you get, Bisan?
An 11.
An 11. you still don't quite get your catch, but you're like a little more expert about it, like trying to get it just falls off of your hook, unfortunately, and you'll have like this bum moment. But Mr. Voidlight, who perhaps is a little bit more expertise at this, and with your famed astral travel, perhaps this is how you survived. Well, that's the astral sea, so never mind. But anyway, roll a d10 to determine your catch, my friend.
Boy, let's see what we get. That is an 8.
An 8. You reel in. Everyone watches it around the end. You like catch one in, and maybe there's a little like vainglory in it for you, Varsh. Just like Yersinia didn't catch one, and Bisan didn't get one. You were getting a lot of like tutoring because it looked like you know what you're doing, and then in the end you're like, yeah, I got one. Like I got this, and you reel in this small fish. It's about yay big. It's not too big, but it's considered oh, actually, no, my mistake. It's considered a small-sized fish. It's about the size of Chaplin. It's a decent-sized fish, and it's big enough to feed 4 people. And you reel it in onto the deck, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" You catch like this huge wild space fish. And the captain's like, "Mr. Voidlight, incredible! We need to get you on the fishing pole more often, my friend."
So as he's pulling it in, I'll cast a thaumaturgy and like have like a loud roar emanate from the fish as everybody's kind of watching pull it in.
Everyone has like a like moment. Is it like, and then everyone kind of like, what the hell? You definitely, I think, catch everyone as everyone's in this moment of like, whoa, and the fish like roars, which is crazy. And the captain sort of like looks around and sees that you're like twiddled your fingers, you got that grin on your face, and he goes, "Mr. Fool's Gold," and everyone kind of but yeah, you get everybody. The captain pats your back, Voidlight, and goes, "Well, excellent. I think this will be probably our dinner. Well done."
Just doing my job, sir. Well, ma'am, Captain.
Sir or captain will be just fine. Yeah, you guys will, yeah. And as for the rest of the day, nope, nothing else the rest of the day. Is there anything else anyone wanted to do today? Okay, I think I will say that for lunch, you are called, Varsh, to the captain's quarters.
Okay.
Where, yeah, captain's quarters is at, yeah, oh, that's supposed to be the captain's quarters? Never mind, backwards on this one, on this rig. I don't think he takes his meals in his room. You just kind of get called to the mess hall, where the captain's taking his meal, and he says, "Mr. Voidlight, I had the cook prepare us your catch. I thought it would be a good moment for us to sit down. I'd love to hear of your adventures, if you don't mind. I don't want to pry if it's a soft topic."
No, I'd welcome it. As I sit down and dig into the fish.
I dig into the fish. It's well prepared. It's good. There's something satisfying about eating your own catch. And the captain says, "Well, I think my letter of offer of employment spoke for itself. Your knowledge of the astral sea will come in great handy at board this ship, and I guess I wanted to hear of your adventures, or if you wanted to tell me of your adventures, things that you think a captain ought to know about his astral expert."
Not really sure where to begin, but I mean, as far as astral fishing goes, I spent a few times sat on an asteroid with a pole and string, watching debris fly by. You know, years out at sea, you start to learn how to handle the fish that swim by.
I see. Well, I know that you don't need to eat or drink or much of any of that out in the Astral Sea, but I imagine you miss the taste of food after a while.
It's just that it's strange when you spend so much time out there and time seems to stop.
Well, let it be known, you have my condolences for your time at sea. I mean, I don't even know if it's proper to give you condolences. I'm sure you learned a great deal about what lies out there, more than most.
I saw some. There are creatures large and small, and some are dangerous, and some are, well, about the same as the will-o-wisps. Don't touch them, and you'll be fine.
Yes, I suppose so. I admit my experience in the Astral Sea is about as limited as most captains. We sail along the flow to get from one wild space system to another. Occasionally we bump into something along the way, but it's about the extent of my astral experience, which is, as I said, the same as many captains. But you were, as the legend tells, you were out there for some time.
It's not quite the same as riding in a ship. It's a strange place. Where you go is more a question of where do you wish to go, and you will find your way. Although the path that you find, I mean, is not always safe.
Makes sense. I would ask you, Mr. Voidlight, you hear things. The Githyanki, what they call their home world, Tunarak, and the dangers of mind flayers and aberrations and other dangers out there. But I'm curious if you'd think that there is profit to be made out in the Astral Sea for a ship such as ours.
I would say almost certainly.
Anything specific? Any secrets you might have to share?
Well, the Astral Sea is traversed not just by mortal kind like you or I. It is, I don't know, a great road that all manner of beings travel, and you can find their remnants, their leftovers, you might say. Great creatures that can be slain, and I imagine their meat or pelts will be worth a great deal. And there's all manner of, like you say, gith, illithids, and other assorted factions who may have acquired things that they would definitely want to be parted with.
Fair enough. Well, I will perhaps give you some peace of mind. I don't think I have much intention with, if it can be helped, battling mind flayers and Githyanki. Both are dangerous adversaries, and unless the profit would be immense, I don't think the loss of life would be quite worth it.
Well,
But, like you say, it takes you where you want to go, and if you say that there are good hunts out in the Astral Sea, that's certainly something worth considering.
well, potentially good hunts. Alone, I would never, ever consider tangling with some of the denizens of the sea, but with a well-manned crew and a great ship, well, circumstances change.
Fair enough, Mr. Voidlight. Fair enough. Well, thank you. Thank you for taking this meal with me and telling some of what you know of the Astral Sea.
I would say there is one warning, I guess, I could give.
Yes?
Although astronomically unlikely, I wasn't being... I didn't mean to underplay that the Astral Sea is roamed not but merely by mortals. Deities do pass through.
Yes, I was aware from the tales. They speak that one of the greater celestial bodies in the astral sea are the corpses of ancient dead gods. Is something you might be like to run into out there. So I can only assume that is where they travel.
Well, the corpses are one thing, but some live, and they are, as gods are, capricious and whimsical and easy to entertain or anger.
I see. I see. A fine word of caution, Mr. Fordlight. Thank you.
My pleasure, Captain.
You kind of finish up. Maybe there's a little bit more lighter talk, and after a while, you sort of return to your duties. But as you're sort of walking down the companionway to return to work, the companionway goes black with shadow and darkness.
All right.
Oh yeah. The captain leaves. Yeah, let's do. The captain leaves, and as you are left alone, all goes quite dark. Oh, that didn't quite work the way I wanted to. You feel a presence that you have felt before.
Oh no.
But you are standing in like black void around you in the companionway. You can still feel the sort of cold sort of air of the ship. You can still feel the thrum of the Spelljammer vessel under your feet, but all of your sight and all of your hearing has gone black and blank. And in the dark, you feel a familiar presence come to you. You hear, and you like look down your leg and you see a snake, sort of a spotted, thick, long snake begin to wind up your leg, moving up your body towards you. You hear from the darkness 3 voices as one. It says, "Why do you speak of we who travel the astral sea? Do you mean, for my amusement, to send us this vessel?"
My lady. It was meant as a warning to the crew. I would not think that the crew would be of notice to you so far, but I cannot begin. I would not be foolish enough to assume that you are the only one to roam the astral sea.
Your intelligence and reverence do appease me, Varsh Voidlight. But I have grown so very bored, as you well know. I seek amusement. Tell me, Mr. Voidlight, how do you intend to slake my appetite?
The ship is on its way to deal with some pirates. I would think that a slaughter would perhaps entertain you somewhat, or at least alleviate the monotony of this journey.
There's like a feminine sigh and a feminine laugh, and in between you hear the voice still, the snake sort of slithering around your body, not like suffocating you or binding you, but just sort of like moving closer to you. And you see the snake sort of like rearing up towards your head, and the snake begins to speak, and the woman's voice is channeled through the snake and says, "A slaughter perhaps will be entertaining. I hope it will not be a monotonous one. I have witnessed the death of many over eons. If this is to entertain, I expect a show.
Of course, my lady.
We will see if your path brings me what I seek, Varsh Voidlight.
I will endeavor to meet your expectations and earn your favor.
Do this well, and more power can be yours. Good luck, Varsh Voidlight. The snake seems to disappear into the blackness, the smoke, and the darkness in your vision begins to fade, starting in what looks to be like a crescent moon, and then expanding outward from that. And all of the light of the lanterns begins to return to you, and the thrum of the Spelljammer engine begins to hum in your ear once more. And you are alone in the companionway, as you were once before.
I have to ask, how did that look for Yersinia?
Yeah. What am I catching here?
Do you think Yersinia, you would have been in the companionway? Like, I mean, your mini's in there, but this was after, this is later on, but maybe. Where do you think you'd be wandering around there?
I just assume I'm manning the helm when.
Fair enough. So we'll say, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna do a little roll to determine how much you witness or how much you get or what the circumstances
Super
are.
fair.
Okay, so at a certain point, Yersinia, you're in the room, you're sort of getting your tutoring from the Spelljammer. She's talking to you about pilot maneuvers and such, and she sort of takes over and she says, all right, go have a walkabout. And you sort of leave the room behind, you close the door behind you, not too quietly, but you hear the voice of Varsh Voidlight in the hallway, sort of just standing, sort of staring blankly down the hallway. And you kind of like, what are you doing? And the words that Varsh spoke, you don't hear all of them, but you sort of hear like a, perhaps it shall be a good slaughter to entertain you, my lady. And sort of, as you say, my lady, as you say, my lady. Very like, and then Varsh sort of like blinks a couple times, and Varsh, however you decide to come out of the experience is how you come out of the experience.
There's like, Varsh like visibly drops to his knees and looks like sweating, terrified.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yersinia, I don't think takes this as a that was weird. Immediately sees a chance to like try and like contact you as a person, runs over and like very gently puts like a hand on your back and is like, all right, breathing shallow at first, deeper as you get going. You all
When
right
the
there?
hand like reaches his shoulder, he, like jerks like as if like scared, like
Yeah, okay, no touchy. Understood.
Yersinia,
You don't have to say anything right now.
how much did you see or hear?
Something about a beautiful slaughter, something about your lady, and I don't need to know your relationship status, but if like, I don't know, you want to open up about whatever that was, you can, but we don't have to pry. Small pats on the back.
Just
You're sweating.
I'm just trust me when I say in reference to any slaughtering that was not meant for, that was not directed to the crew. It was actually directed towards my or our enemies in the future.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, if it's slaughter for our sake, you know, I've been taught that's a good thing. We'll see.
Oh, maybe when we know each other a bit
We can
better,
talk about
I'll...
this later.
Yes, I need to lie down.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine. I just need to recompose myself.
Yeah, get composed. You know, take some time, breathe easy. Listen to that one dude who talks into your brain in bug language. He's pretty cool. He does a really sick like thing where he takes a blade of grass and he plays the flute on it.
I think I would like things not inside my head right now.
Okay, understood. I'm gonna go
Varsh,
watch him play the grass.
Yeah. Varsh
Yersinia leaves to make sure he has the room to himself at this point.
just wipes his brow and then kind of makes his way down to like where the crew hole up so he can take a minute.
Got it. Yeah, you go down to the companion, you go down and you find your bunk. People, it's just kind of you, it's the middle of the day, and so there's no one else to sort of bug you. You kind of like find your way into your bunk and you can kind of just like have a moment to yourself, you know?
I then consult the orrery. How long? How far away are we?
You look into the orrery, it should be there by tomorrow.
Something about like the idea of it still, asleep away. It's like watching the breath, like not soon enough. It needs to be sooner.
Fair enough, fair enough. Incredible.
I go seek out Chaplin.
You seek out Chaplin. Okay, yeah. You sort of like are laying there and you're like, not seen enough, not seen enough. And you remember the strange auto gnome, the strange prankster auto gnome, and you wander away to find Chaplin. Chaplin, what do you think you're doing after this later hour in the day? Not too late, but middle afternoonish.
Yeah, if it's not too late, I think he generally, because he doesn't get, bored in the sense of like the tediousness or monotony of work or whatever. I think he honestly just kind of wanders the decks, fixing and adjusting small things here and there, with the exception of, trying to, surprise people or, make some candles flicker or make a door slam shut or, an unexpected noise. But for the most part, I would say he just kind of wanders the deck back and forth, tending to minor items.
All right, we'll say at this time you've just done like a little like, it's not connected to anything that truly steers the ship, because the ship is currently being utilized through the wild space helm, or excuse me, the Spelljammer helm. So you see the wheel that would function as the rudder for the ship if you were in water, but it's not. You see the oar walking by, and you're kind of like, and the wheel just kind of, and she's like, in fear. Just has this like delayed grandma reaction. Like doesn't have pearls, but she does have some crystals, and she holds her crystals. And she goes, "Goodness, I need to go lay down. I shall need to be in my shell for a while. Mr. Voidlight can handle the orrery, hopefully." And I'll say even at that time, like, you see Songquo sort of walk by Varsh, sort of, it goes, "Mr. Voidlight, you tend to the orrery for a while. I need to go be in my shell for a while." And wanders by, and you get the sense Chaplin's nearby, because this is usually the kind of this is usually what's going on with people when Chaplin's nearby. But we'll say for the time being, Mr. Fool's Gold, while this is all happening, maybe you're tending to the mangonel with Bisan. As Bisan, you are the artillerist, or one of the artillerists. Makes sense that you two would be working together. So, yeah, you guys are just kind of there, and Varsh, you could kind of see the two working together to sort of like make sure that the mangonel's in working order.
All right. So I guess it would be, finding the places in the mechanism that where they're able to be minor adjustments and kind of like making one small adjustment at a time and looking over at Bisan and kind of seeing what they had to think.
And if we have barrels or such that we can be launching and shooting at to like, I know that you occasionally have to adjust the trajectory and angles of things, and
Yeah.
it's maybe a bigger weapon than she's used to managing. Might as well get as much practice as possible when it doesn't matter.
Fantastic. Yep, the captain for this first voyage made sure to have an extra supply of like empty barrels and such for the sake of practice with the mangonel. So yeah, you have plenty of opportunity to sort of fire forth, and the ballista tries to like sort of ski shoot the barrels out of the sky, and gives you an opportunity to sort of like. It's a little more difficult when you're at cruise speed to sort of like ensure the mangonel's firing straight on, but Chaplin has certain measuring tools to help with that. And yeah, you guys are working together, and Varsh, you sort of get up there when you hear like a pull, and then the mangonel throws a barrel, and there's a from the front of the deck. And it's a direct hit, and the barrel sort of explodes, and all of the refuse sort of just get shot out into wild space.
So I'm sure he probably kind of explains, because he likes to talk. I'm sure he probably kind of explains, as she's firing and getting to know the gun, I guess you would call it the catapult. What mechanically what like each of the adjustments does, so that she understands better how the whole mechanism works. How to adjust it, what the adjustments mean, etc.
And she's taking very close attention. I mean, she's not you'll notice she doesn't take notes, but she seems to remember just about everything.
Very nice. Very nice. Incredible. Becoming a better artillerist. Mr. Voidlight.
Varsh kind of walks over, now totally composed, the vision of a perfect soldier once again, and greets them both. Mr. Fool's Gold, Mrs. Sandro.
Oh, hi, Varsh.
We are shooting barrels.
Fucking great. The grumble.
Might I borrow you for a moment, Mr. Fool's Gold? I have a request or a suggestion.
Oh, certainly. Do you have something that needs mending?
Not mending per se. I was thinking this journey has been a long one, and I recall you did something when we first left port to give us a real boost of speed.
Oh, yes, that was great fun. We took off in a flash.
Well, I was thinking we could end the journey the same way we started, with a real, kick in the engine kind of thing.
Oh, certainly. Should I head to the helm?
After you.
All right, away we go.
All right, you two head down, and
See you later, Chaplin. Mr. Voidlight.
Hi, Bisan.
You guys head down to the Spelljammer's quarters, and within you see somewhat boredly Larati Sithra, the Spelljammer Suthra, just sort of sitting there kind of boredly, like, it's just cruise speed, there's not much to do. And you guys sort of knock on the door. Before you even knock, she's like, just come in. And you guys open the door. She says, what can I do for the two of you?
Oh, well, we're nearing our destination. I think I was thinking we would make use of Mr. Fool's Gold's talents to perhaps make our arrival a bit more well-timed.
It's a good suggestion. I'm sure when we enter undoubtedly enter combat, hunting the bounty on the Scrow, well, it'll be good to get a little bump in the right direction. So it's a good point, Mr. Fool's Gold. When we come out of cruise tomorrow, it'd be good if you were stationed here to enhance the speed of the ship.
Absolutely, I can do that.
Excellent. A fine thought, Mr. Voidlight.
I'm glad to be of help, Lady Spelljammer.
Gives you a little nod. And says, "But fantastic. Is there anything else that I could do for you?"
No, that was everything.
Excellent. All right. Well, return to your posts.
Understood. I'll report tomorrow when I feel us come out of cruise.
Gives you a little nod. And you guys can sort of be about your business. Incredible. So was there anything else from anyone today? No? Another little duel happens below deck. Undoubtedly, the multi-attack GIF with 70 hit points wins. And but it's a very sort of yeah, but it's a very like teaching experience where he's like sort of showing you, and quite quickly fitting into this almost like I don't even want to say like a mentor role, but almost like kind of like a big brother kind of role. He just kind of like talks about how great the GIF are, and he's kind of like, oh, and he goes, oh, good, you swung low that time. It was a fine. Using my weight against me would be another good thing. Quite heavy, with a big overswing, kind of slip around the side, hit me in the back. That's always a good one. Just trying to give you advice about combat and trying to show you like the basics of multi-attack, like how to like. He says, alright, the important thing is that you use the weight of your weapon to bring it around to come in for the next attack. A lot of warriors make the mistake of swinging really hard in one blow, but you need to take that momentum and carry it around for the next blow, and that's how you get the multi-attack in. You need to continue, use that speed to come around for the next attack. And begins to sort of show you basics of multi-attack, and yeah, and begins to point you in the right direction.
No, that is absolutely perfect. At some point, she would start asking questions about gunpowder and shooting.
Let me tell you about gunpowder, because I love gunpowder. It's the best. I only have so much, being the only GIF on the ship, but yes, you put the gunpowder in the gun, and he tells you about and he pulls out his firearm. He lets you hold it and like look at it, like it isn't loaded or anything, so he lets you like and like just kind of play around with it. He goes, oh, the gun, whatever. He talks to you all about gunpowder and how great it is. You don't get proficiency in firearms here, but you certainly get the basics of how firearms work in this moment. And he tells you about, we give like the blunderbuss, and talks about, he says, but you have to be careful of the Scrow. The Scrow are quite a lot smarter than you'd think. Unlike orcs, they're actually quite tactical, quite intelligent, and they've developed a rather interesting pistol that functions similarly to a rifle. The GIF, well, we would love to be able to claim the technology for ourselves, but the Scrow figured it out, and it's a rather interesting weapon. It's like the blunderbuss, you see, except rather than a wide shot, it's sort of a rifle-like shot. Very interesting weapon. And as I'm sure you would know from your time in the war, Bisan, the Scrow are not stupid. They are not like orcs, they are not like goblins. They sort of have the brute might of the orcs, but they have the sort of tactical cunning and intelligence of a hobgoblin or a gnome. Someone with that tinkering proficiency, but also that tactical proficiency as well. You would know this. And says, all right. And then you continue about the day. And if there's nothing else, you can all find your way to the mess, and you all get some food. We're just gonna hop over this one because we're coming to our break in this moment. So you guys kind of maybe like talk about the excitement of tomorrow or about the day's events or whatever. But you all, or we could, we'll take care of it once we come back from break. So you guys all head to the mess, and if there's anything anyone wanted to talk about at the mess, we'll deal with that in a second. But the captain says, everyone be up at this time. Combat surely will ensue early in the morning. Everyone come prepped and ready for combat, and we will tell you something about how spelljamming works in space, how to properly fight in combat. I want to train all of you that you might be captains of your own ships one day. It will not be like the military where you fall in line to your jobs. I want this to be a learnable experience. So everyone be ready, come to learn, and come prepared to board. And that is where we'll take our break. So we'll be back. We'll have a little mess hall dinner, and then we'll have our first Spelljammer combat.
Oh boy.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Do you think it is possible that at some point in the past, Bisan would have seen someone use a laser gun, a laser pistol?
No.
Just fine.
Fair enough. No, it's an excellent, valid question. But currently, the most advanced wild space technology is indeed sort of like muskets and flintlock pistols. Grenades are in there too, blunderbuss. That's sort of where they're at technologically.
Okay. So no Han Solo pistols.
Pew
No
pew.
Han Solo pistols
I'm
yet. Maybe there's a wild space system out there that's a little more advanced that has that around, but you certainly haven't heard of anything like that. You certainly haven't experienced or seen anything like that.
okay. Cool beans. No, that's
Maybe
that's
it's out
actually
there,
cool.
maybe it's not. We'll have to wait and see what the adventure holds.
Fair enough. Just thought I'd check in because my interest in firearms was more about gaining that proficiency than gunpowder.
Yes, understood. And that is definitely, if that exists, firearm
Not here.
proficiency would be required.
Cool beans.
Yep. Very, very fair question. Okay, we'll be back in a little bit. 5-10 minutes.
So your weird ass was trying to get head from a little kid?
Okay, that's enough. Calm down, Naruto. He's not the enemy. Not right now.
Nah, fuck that shit. This nigga.
The fuck? You hear that?
Yes, I did hear all of that. I just. Nah, fuck that shit.
Nah, fuck that shit. Honestly, I gotta say, Facebook Reels, like, they're kind of way better than TikTok, I gotta say. I don't know what it is, just usually they come out with better bangers. Right. We think
No,
it's
deep in the Instagram videos, deep on the Discover page, that
Yeah.
shit's cursed and wonderful.
Oh no.
I get the
I just
worst shit
find
I've ever seen.
Facebook Reels so like entertaining. I don't know why. It's just better. It's what TikTok was meant to be before the dark times.
I don't know. I think it depends on how you got your page curated. Mine's
Yeah, that's
endlessly
true.
entertaining, but I'm deep into like musical theater TikTok.
Oh shit. Yeah. I think mine's just been diluted by the For You page. It's just been diluted by my strange interests, perhaps.
Mine's
Oh,
cursed
well.
for sure. I've got a ghost coming after me.
Nice.
Yeah, one of the most recent things to come across was there's a from Hamilton. There was a revision called First Burn, and apparently the way you sing this song, if a person doesn't know you, they can tell if you are an actor, a choral singer, or a band geek. And there have been a couple of challenges like that. So yeah, these are the kinds of things that I watch. I'm looking for gentle entertainment, y'all. I'm not looking for deep, mindful considerations.
Me either. I just want to laugh. Make me laugh. That's all I want. That's all I'm here for.
Sometimes I get videos of like just abandoned buildings where the snow is coming in, and there's like a small children's shoe closet filled with like just rotted shoes, and it's just that video for like 30 seconds, over and over. So whatever I'm doing.
Wow, very Chernobyl. Very Chernobyl.
I mean, even that is like, I don't know. Let's keep going. Sorry, guys.
So, D&D.
So
alright,
I'm not crazy.
I'm not crazy. Maybe. So you guys settle into the mess hall. Your usual dinner action shot. Is there anything that you guys would want to do or talk about while you eat dinner? Is there any elephants that need to be addressed? Nothing like that? No?
I still like glance at Yersinia, but otherwise I go about my day as if nothing is different.
Fair enough.
That's Varsh's business for now. I'm not gonna bring it up in the mess hall.
It's the
Hey
usual.
man, there's some people who would.
Eats his food and polishes the weird black and white stone that maybe, actually, maybe you might have noticed is like it's maybe a bit more white than it used to be.
Yep, it's true.
Oh.
And I gotta say, it's pretty big too. At least right now, like it's big. It's not like a little like. It's probably like a large grapefruit.
Yep.
Yeah. She takes note of the stone and the My Lady and beautiful bloody slaughter every day lovely time from earlier, and just kind of like puts it in a box that's labeled I should talk to Varsh as little as possible.
On the other hand, hey Varsh, that's a nice rock you got there.
Thank you. It was a gift. Well, it's more of a not so much a gift, but a item I've been given for safekeeping.
Oh, I see. Does it remind you of someone special?
A lady, perhaps?
I can assure you there is no. Perfectly single, thank you.
All right, I thought maybe like a kindly aunt or something.
No, just I've been. The relationship's complicated, but the exact words were, "Look after this like it were my own child." So, good.
Oh, that sounds pretty serious.
It's like checks over for any blemishes.
Would you polish a child?
So does your special someone have a name?
Special someone was their words, not mine.
Is it the aura? Is it the turtle? You can tell us. It's okay.
No, I had this stone before I joined the crew.
Okay. I thought I'd give it a try. Swing and a miss.
Did you have it when you were on the Void Light?
No, I was given it while I was out at sea.
That's a sea stone.
If
Can I-
that's is it your professional opinion?
Do you want a professional opinion?
Well, I am curious to know exactly what this is. They didn't really explain. They just said look after it.
Okay. Can I hold it?
Kind of glances at you, the back at the stone. If you drop this, I can't guarantee your life.
What? We're eating carrots and gravy right now. What do you mean?
Maybe just put it on a table,
Yeah, just put it on
and then
the
it won't drop.
surface.
Put it in a bowl. She's gonna like mage hand a bowl to herself and put it in a bowl.
He then puts he takes off like a bit, like his like a bit of like the kind of like fancy fabric thing tied around his waist, lays it down inside the bowl, and then puts the stone in.
I'll put the bowl on the table in front of Yersinia.
And let's see here.
Take a spoon and
Yeah, I cracked that shit. No. Yersinia does actually take out like this little decorative decorative is the wrong word. It's like one of those fancy teaspoons that has like interesting, almost like tree-like branches coming down its little length of it. Takes it along the bowl, whips it around like she's trying to make a noise with it, and I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
interesting. Okay. Tech magic goes
Yes.
off. Chaplin radiates with magic of various kinds. They're a very person. You've probably seen, you maybe have seen an auto gnome here and there. This isn't unusual. The stone itself is not magic. I don't think anyone else has any particularly magical stuff on their person.
I guess the Ori does.
That's right. Well, we'll say because you're having your meal, the other aura is in possession of it at
Yeah.
the moment. But yes, that would have lit up. You're right.
All right.
The only instruction you got was to take care of it as if it was your own child. Did you ever wonder what would happen if you didn't take care of it like it was your own child?
Is this an egg? It's not magical.
Kind of look at it. It isn't. I don't know if it's an egg or not.
Because child is horribly specific.
I would assume if I failed to look after it, I'd probably die.
Oh, that does sound very serious.
That's how I'm. Well, that's what I mean when I say the person who gave it to me. I wouldn't necessarily describe as someone special so much as someone of importance.
Oh.
Well, I think if I think about this, my head's gonna hurt. But give me a little bit, and maybe I can figure out a way to, I don't know, work with you. This seems interesting. And I take the bowl gently and I push it so carefully towards Varsh.
And Varsh picks it up like a newborn baby. Cradles it. And then puts it back in his pack.
Yersinia kind of just nods, a little disconnected from the group in that moment.
So it's a not magic baby stone.
Yes, Varsh seems to be in possession of the baby stone.
Is that what we're calling it? The baby stone?
I think it's the baby stone. Capital T, capital B.
Okay.
Makes it seem less frightening.
Well, I was told to regard it as, look after it as if my own child, so I haven't been regarding it with any fear.
Well, now it has one.
Has it always been that big? Maybe it'll grow.
I hope it doesn't grow. It's
Should we make a
really
covering
large.
for it? Maybe the net makers could knit up a
The net maker?
case?
I could make something for it.
Well, don't you put children in clothing like it's naked?
I think it was meant that.
It's not a child. It's not. This is a stone.
But it's the baby stone.
Yes, but it's.
Varsh's baby stone.
Yeah, it's. I mean, have you heard of something called holistic practices? It's kind of all over the place. The West Coast really ruined it, but
West Coast
What
of
space?
where?
What do you mean the West Coast?
Fog cloud.
I'm just saying maybe a sock to protect it from thermal fluctuation.
Good idea. Put it in a sock.
Put it in my pack.
Yeah, I mean, I could make it a, protective encasement of some type.
You could probably just carry it around inside Chaplin. I mean, I don't know. Are you hollow or is it pretty solid?
Chaplin starts knocking on himself.
It sounds pretty
Pretty solid.
solid. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know. I thought it leaned.
See, I would take you up on that offer, Chaplin, but I wouldn't put it past you to either sabotage the contraption to do something terrible to me later, or maybe even break the egg.
That's a fair assessment.
Is it an egg?
Sorry, stone. You said egg, and I got it in my head, and no.
It could be whatever. I like baby stone.
You're in my head right now. Get out of my head.
Becoming increasingly confused and frustrated about the stone conversation.
Have you tried covering it in different substances?
No, because I wouldn't do that to my own child.
A child will sometimes grab some peanut butter and put it all over their face just for fun. And you're depriving this stone of its own fun.
Oh, I did see a plasmoid earlier. What if we handed it to them?
Yeah, put it inside the
I would
plasma
like
jelly.
to avoid
Give me the stone
involving
again.
as many people as possible. I'm not giving it back to you now.
Yersinia, somewhere in the ether you hear a long sigh.
And then look between the two of them. Okay. Hypothetically speaking, if you were to be a passive observer of four people caking a mysterious stone in peanut butter, would that be entertaining?
Yes,
Certainly.
I would stand and watch for a while. I think. Where are they going with this? What happens? How are they going to get all that peanut butter off?
Varsh just like gazed up at the ceiling, like, is this what I've been reduced to?
Bisan is actually
Okay.
considering the answer to all of those questions independently of her own merit.
Varsh takes the stone out. Okay, where's the where is this? Where's the peanut butter?
I think yeah, that looks like that the pie filling will work just as well.
Yeah, I mean, just any food substance, really. See what happens. It's nutritional at this point.
Varsh, look, picks up a. Is there a pie?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not?
And it takes the stone and rolls it across the pie.
All right, it's definitely like a pumpkin pie. I don't know why it is. It just is. And you take your strange stone and you roll it across a pie. Congratulations, your stone's covered in pie.
You know what? I was wrong about that. That wasn't nearly as entertaining as I thought it was going to be.
No, I like this. I saw him reduce himself and he put it in the food, so I'm feeling pretty good. Don't sweat so much. I pat Varsh on the back.
Oh, if you only knew. And he kind of takes the stone out of the pie.
Bisan eats the pie.
Hey, Ryan hates us right now.
No, I'd go for it, man. This is the best RP I've had in. I don't know.
I mean, Ryan fully understands why.
Oh, they're bonding. As a DM on that session 2, like silly banter, that's all I'm feeling. Like they're bonding. I'm so happy.
I'd like to refer you to session 1 of what is it, the EXU with Abria.
Oh, okay.
The very first one, it had Orem and Fern in it.
Yeah.
Their first session has those kinds of vibes.
I'm gonna consider this a success. I don't know of what, but I think it's a success.
Well, I guess I'll find out later. But I need to check the aura actually. Oh wait, it's not with me. It's not with me. They have it.
The Breakfast Club splits up.
I need to check the aura. I'm gonna go get this cleaned up and check the aura. Bye.
Alright, you guys hop up and you all sort of go your separate ways.
I'm actually going to follow Varsh to the Ori. I'll try and spruce it up a little bit if I can.
Okay, you follow just to the what would this part of this ship be called? This is the stateroom. You find your way to the stateroom where the Auror is currently just sort of like, honestly, just hanging out. Being an Auror is not the most difficult job in the world once the course has been plotted. It's sort of just like check in on it like once an hour, maybe not even that. You hop over.
I thought Ori was one of the specific items suggested, but it's not. So maybe there's nothing for me to help there because it's not mechanical.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, you consider it, but you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do to help there, and you kind of just hang out. But Varsh, you find your way, and you find Auror Sunkel, and she's like, "Oh, Mr. Boyd Lights, how is your dinner?"
Degrading, if I am to be blunt. I more or less come here more to escape a very awkward conversation and also to see Well, how far are we from these pirates?
Oh, we're not far at all now. We're only about 10 to 8 hours away now. Should probably get some rest in before the big day tomorrow.
Very well.
Very
And
well.
Varsh dutifully leaves to prepare
Yeah, she like
for
turns
battle.
on the wild orrery to like show you and everything. While she like shows you while she says that. She's like,
Yeah.
"There's us, we're a little white dot, and there's them, and they're right there. They haven't moved." Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, there's nothing else. You all find your way below deck. You find your way to your various, hammocks. Maybe at this point, maybe not getting used to the snoring. But the thrum of the engine and the thrum of wild space. There's no engines, but the thrum of wild space. Telling you to rest. And as you all wake up in the morning, you have your quick bite of breakfast, and the day has begun. Yeah.
Just a reminder in case it comes up later, since we only played the one time and it's been a couple of weeks. Chaplin sleeps on the upper deck and just like stands inert essentially, but aware.
No problem. Yes. Fair enough. Fair enough. You stand up there, sort of inert, watching the stars go by, and on the next day, everybody mans their stations. Various people man the various. Most people here are just work hands, and all are just sort of attending to the various artillery. I have so many extra minis of you guys everywhere. 2. You're a bosun. The guy with the bow, you guys have seen him around. The guy that Chaplin sort of did. He's been like really down ever since everything happened with the bow. Like really just feeling bad. Just like not going through it a little bit.
Mid-elf life crisis.
Exactly. He's going through his. Because everyone talks about the late 200s and the third sort of crisis in there, but it's true. It's horrible. But
I
yeah.
walk by talking to by Chewanga and like pretending it's like a small like off to the side conversation with the Chewanga. Just go, you hear about that fucking guy who can't even fire a bow anymore, and then keep walking.
Chewanga like laughs. Sort of there's like a from it. It still hasn't talked to you for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm fucking mad.
It just like it just doesn't talk to you. Like it is perfectly capable,
Brutal.
but for some reason it won't.
Brutal.
I was gonna put someone somewhere. Oh yeah. Chaplin, you're sort of making your way to the Spelljammer helm. You see and At goes, "Oh hey Chaplin, oh man, today's a big day. Are you ready?"
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to start having some more serious things to fix.
Oh, it's gonna be great. Hopefully the ship will get really hurt and we can fix it.
Right? I hope we break a gun or something.
A gun would be really cool. All right, good luck. And he sort of scurries off to prepare his station. You make your way to the bosun's or the Spelljammer's cabin, where Spelljammer Suthra is going to be holding the power of the Spelljammer. For the sake of this, all of you will be able to hear the sort of mighty bellowing voice of the captain says, "All right, this is it. We're going up against the scroll. We should be jumping out of cruise speed soon enough." I imagine we will be facing one ship for now. There are 2 that we mean to fight, but this is the first of 2 collective ships. The information we have tells us that they should not be manned with any personal vessels or mounts of any kind, so this should be pretty straightforward. Collective versus collective, but I'm willing to bet our crew is better than theirs. What do you all think?
Yay!
Aye, sir.
Wow! Wow! This is good to hear. Yeah, and the rest of the crew is like, yeah! Woo! goes, excellent. It says, first thing we do when we're jumping out of into battle is we check the wind direction, but since we're in wild space and there is no wind, we don't need to worry about that. That's an astral sea thing. So here we go. As you jump out of wild space, the thrum of the engine, and you find yourselves in wild space.
All right.
Yep.
Jerry rig the helm.
All right. Go ahead and roll it.
I got a 13. I need 15 for success, so I'm going to use my built for success. I get that as a racial trait. Ew, that gets me a meets it. So we are successful.
Meets it, beats it. All right, your ship is going to have a little boost. So it says, everyone pay attention. We're going to try and advance on them and board. So everyone prepare to board. And while we're at it, listen to my instruction. I'm going to teach you about how this works so that if anyone here needs to take the helm, you can use it properly. So obviously 1,000 feet is a far distance, but just trust me, way out there somewhere, you see what Chaplin, you certainly recognize from the battle you were saved from, is a scorpion ship that is sort of lingering above the planet side, lingering above planet Glyph.
Oh, I know
Yes, Glyph. So you guys won initiative, so your ship will have the first move. Chaplin, you apply your skills. Excellent. Does anybody else have anything they wish to do at this time? You're fairly far away.
Am I manning the orrery, or is Songwo on it?
Sonko has it, but sort of looks at you and says, "Would you like to? I think you should. Would you like to try the orrery?"
I'll give this my best effort.
Excellent. And she will hand you the orrery, but she will be there to provide instruction should you require it. But you will be providing the orrery's capabilities during this time.
That is a good point as well. Am I manning the helm or am I boarding?
For the sake of this, you are boarding. You are told to board.
Gotcha.
This is the first combat. I want you to pay attention to what happens. And we have a second ship, and maybe you'll be in charge of the Spelljammer helm on the second one. Okay?
Yeah. I've definitely been in fights before. Let's go.
That's weird. People who have been in fights before usually don't say that. But
for the baby stone, Yersinia.
Spelljammer just looks at you blankly, like, what the fuck?
Of the two ranged weapons, which has the greater range?
To answer that, the captain will say, Mrs. Chandro, to the mangonel, please. You come to the mangonel, you are put on the fire position. The Commandant says, Good luck, Mr. Chandro. And you are sort of sent back. Says, all right, everyone pay attention as we are stationed so very far out. Spelljammer, I want you to bring us into a jump. We're going to move closer to try and board. Everyone pay attention. So on your ship's turn, your Spelljammer, which would be usually your thing, your Shina, or excuse me, I said that entirely wrong. Your Sinya is, as the Spelljammer's action, they're going to attempt to do a short-range jump to enter into a combat range that is closer. So, DC 15, space vehicle check, Spelljammer succeeds, and you're going to notice that the whole ship begins to thrum as if it's trying to enter into cruise speed, and then it sort of skips forward about 500 feet forward. That's what it does. It says this ship. Oh, where are you, Space Galleon? There you are. And then the ship is going to use its normal speed of
Twice
as
as
whopping, and twice as much. Yes, thank you. So it's going to make another 70 feet flight forward. Begin to grow closer to the enemy thanks to your jerry-rigging skills. The whole crew sort of gets like this one sort of instantaneous, like, sort of like jumps, like goes to the speed of like a million miles a day, and just in like a short span, just like immediately starts and stops. And by the gravity plane, you aren't thrust forward. And then Chaplin's sort of thrust does enter in. You guys are pushed an extra little jump forward. You guys begin to advance. At this point, Bisan, your mangonel faces in the wrong direction, so we're not worrying about you as of yet. It says, mangonel, hold fire. So your little team there, 2 people load a shell into the mangonel, 2 people aim it on your behalf, or they hold action to aim it, and then you will have the fire held action if you so choose to do so.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah. You see the Scorpion ship is going to push forward. Let's see here. 250 feet, and then it's going to fly forward another 70. And the captain will say, it looks like they're wanting to do a little up close and personal fighting as well. Scorpions have pincers on the front. It's no doubt they want to try and close with us. And we'll advance another 65-ish feet. I might just be like a little more loose with my speeds in this encounter. All right, it is your ship's encounter. It says, Spelljammer, take us in. We're going to go to short range. Spelljammer rolls. Easy. Jerry rig again. Go ahead and roll it.
Am I able to scan the ship?
Yeah, if you want to put a scan in there, go for it.
No, I'm not going to make the DC this time.
Okay, no problem. You try and jerry rig it, but things are moving a little too quick. Go ahead, Varsh.
Can I use guidance on myself for this roll or not?
It's an action to cast guidance. I will say
Oh,
that
yeah,
you did it
that's-
last round because you didn't get to do anything last round.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Go for it.
Okay. It is 15 on the Arcana.
15 on the Arcana. Is that a pass?
I think it's contested against the enemy Spelljammer.
That's right. That's right. What are they rolling?
It's Arcana.
Arcana. That will be a success on your part. They roll just a little lower.
So by how much?
By how much?
Oh, they succeed, not me.
What?
Who succeeded? Sorry.
You did. You succeeded. Sorry.
Okay,
You
well, then
succeeded.
what was the difference? 'Cause it's like it says by 5.
Oh, not that much. It was like 3. You like
Okay, in
failed
that
by
case,
3.
I just learn living crew, ship size, type, and speed.
Got it. I believe the crew is 8. Their ships, their speed is 8. Their crew could. I guess you wouldn't really know that. That doesn't make sense. But so there's 8 crew members. There's 8 life forms aboard the ship as of now. It has a speed of. Where are you? Oh, I was using like damsel fly stats. My bad. It has a fly speed of 30 feet, so 3.5 miles. Is there anything else you learned?
That's all. I just get the first bit of basic information, but I will relay the number of life forms on board to the crew.
Got it. Says so nothing that we can't handle, crew. Spelljammer is going to forward the space galleon forth a little more. No fancy maneuvers here. Just gonna move the ship a little closer. Is there anything else anyone wants to do?
As we're getting like pretty damn close to the ship, I'm gonna hand off the orrery to Sanquo so I can be in position in case of boarding or melee combat and so on.
Absolutely. She takes it. She says, "Good luck." and she'll hold it from you. So Spelljammer, bring us about. The ship sort of cranes to the left. It says, "Artillerists, fire!" They roll the mangonel into the proper position. Go ahead and take an attack +6. Or +5,
14.
sorry. 14. Unfortunately, the Scorpion ship is made of metal. It is a direct hit, but not direct enough, and it bounces off the hard metal hull of the Scorpion ship.
Okay.
The ballista on the front end will fire as well, also bouncing off of the metal hull. So if there's nothing else, that is going to bring us to the Scorpion ship. You guys are gonna all just start inching towards each other a little bit, 30 feet closer. They're gonna take because they're mangonels on the top of the Scorpion. They're gonna take 2 shots at your ship. The mangonel shot sails by. The ballista shot is definitely going to hit, and it's going to try and hit one of the. Actually, try and hit the mangonel, and it will hit the mangonel. So the ship's mangonel is going to take, and I'll keep track of this. 6, 1. Your mangonel takes 10 damage, Bisan. As you fire it off, a ballista fires off and smashes into your mangonel, damaging it.
Damaging it irreparably?
Nope, not irreparably. It can be repaired. Luckily, you have 2 bosuns on the ship.
Nothing's reparable.
Nothing can be really broken. But that's what they do. They advanced 30 feet already. Your ship is going to come about 90 feet, or a 90-degree turn. It's going to advance its 30 as you guys begin to inch closer to one another. Or you guys have 35. It says, "All right, we're close. I want all boarding parties ready to go." And then as you go to leave, Bisan is like, "Not you. I want you to hold off for one more shot before preparing." Your ship for its 4th. Who has actions?
Yep. I'm going to run up. I guess as close as I guess I'm in the helm. I want to run to the mangonel.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I can get there, I want to go ahead and mend.
All right, you cast mending. No worries there. All right, let's see. Ship repairs. Okay, you cast the mending cantrip. No check required. All I need you to roll is a D8 plus your spell casting ability modifier to repair it.
Six total.
6 total. Are incredible. The magic sort of files some of it together. It's gained some hit points. Very good. Anybody else?
Can I get another shot off?
Yep. At the end of its speed, you will get another shot off, and it will take that 35-degree turn.
Nice.
Go for it.
17 plus 5, you said?
That's right.
17 plus 5. That's 22, I think.
Direct hit. That will absolutely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
What am I rolling?
That's right. You're rolling 5d10.
Thank you. Let me get those ready for you. 1, 2.
No problem. Varsh joins the boarding party. Yersinia's ready at the boarding party.
Alright.
Fear not, you will not be going alone.
So that's 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 26. That's a good roll.
26, not bad.
You said 5 d10s?
That's right.
Yeah, 26.
Clear and decisive dent damaging the hull of their ship, and there's a and it says Mrs. Chandro, you may now join the boarding party. Well done. Sort of calling out. You see the Commandant is there as well with his gun ready. He's like, all right, time for the real thing. Huzzah! So he'll be going with you guys. You see a couple of the elves will be boarding with you. Some elven scouts. At which point, the ship is just going to full forward. These guys are going to go 30 feet forward. The ship is going to get attacked. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. That one is going to miss your ship. That one is also going... Oh, that one just barely managed to hit the ship. Your ship is going to take a mangonel shot. Of 3... these dice are too shiny. 4, that's 13, that's 16, and that's your ship is going to take an additional or just 17 damage to the hull as it batters off the side. You guys feel the rumble as you're running across the side of the deck of the ship to get into position, and you guys will sort of line up. Okay, it's a lot of feet, but whatever, you get there. In fact, your ship, as you get in close, the Scorpion ship is going to actually use its claws. Oh yeah, this is actually really good. One of them snaps, misses. The other one snaps, misses. We're going to go to another battle board, my friends. Yeah. Where we're going to go to your boarding. Alright, let's get a little organized here. Your ship is here. And you guys are going to be boarding. Okay. So you guys are going to all kind of jump aboard the ship in various ways. I'll tell you what, to board. They're going to try and get the Spelljammer gets you in as close as they can. I'd like an athletics or acrobatics check from each of you to board the ship.
I'm going to use inspiration on that, I think.
Go for it.
Okay, 26. Not 20.
Nice.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is
yeah. Crit, nat 20.
How far are we from the ship?
No, you're like right up against the ship, but it is like scorpion shaped, so you will have to like jump onto either the pincer or the legs. So it is a little tricky. You're right up against it, but it's a little tricky to jump on.
Kind of.
You wanna? I know what you mean.
Yeah, I think there's like a. Yersinia looks at how they're the least like actively inclined, and is just gonna use my little the starlight step and pop over.
How much range has that got?
I think it's Misty Step.
It's basically a Misty Step.
Yeah. Okay, I can magically teleport up to 30 feet. So as long as I'm right up against it, I should be okay to at least get onto something.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to dramatically reduce your DC, but you don't quite get right to flat ground, okay. But very close. Well, you could take like a run and jump off the side and then over there. So never mind. I'm gonna say you're fine. You're good.
Gotcha.
So the elves sort of jump on. I'm gonna actually make checks for all these guys to make sure. Yeah, the elves do just fine. The gift just like, and then lands on the deck. Let's roll some proper boarding initiative. I need to drop your minis in here. Hell yeah. You guys all do just fine. You are going to get to the front here with your teleport. And, well, who are my nat 20s? You guys will get all the way to the end.
Me.
Alright. Got it. So you guys get all the way to the end. So Bison, you're there. You kind of get to the hinge here. Chaplin, you get to the hinge as well. But the elves are still coming over. And a little teleport gets you over to, like, we'll say the hinge of the pincer here. All right, initiative. Go ahead and roll them up. Scroll. The scroll. And all right. Okay. So that's 9, and then my could have been better. All right, 25 to 20.
21.
Very nice. 20 to 15.
18.
Nice. Chaplin, what'd you get?
16. I'm sorry.
What was that, Chaplin?
I got 13.
13. Bison.
16.
All right, so you'll be before you. Yeah. All right, there's our initiative. Varsh
It's
Voidlight.
Bisan!
Exactly. Varsh Voidlight, you, my friend, are up to bat. What do? You have made it all the way to, with your nat 20, to the hinge of one of the legs of the scorpion ship. You see immediately that there are 5 Skrull manning the mangonel up above, who are, like, quickly beginning to prepare to descend. And there's also one who's got, like, the ballista and is aiming at your fellow crewmen who are trying to board. What do you do?
I'm gonna go for the ballista first.
All right, so you go for the ballista. You do a little climb here. We're gonna call that. I'll tell you what. Make me another athletics or acrobatics check to, like, see how well you do the climb. See if you get into melee range.
10.
10. You succeed in climbing, but you are going to run out of speed at about here, as it is going to be considered half speed to, like, climb the side of the hull.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna, since I can't get into melee range, I'm gonna cast a spell on the only spell I know, Command.
Fair enough. I cast a spell on you.
And I, like, point my finger at him and I just yell, collapse.
Collapse. He fails, and he, like, and on his turn, he is bound to fall and grovel to the ground. Well done.
And my turn there.
Fantastic, Varsh. Bison, you land sturdily on the leg. You have, like, a, what the fuck? As everyone rolls, like, 3 people roll nat 20s on their boarding checks. But, like, you still land well and proper with the other elves. What do you do?
Muted?
Muted.
It is too far to punch, so I will shoot it with my crossbow.
All right. Go for it.
I think that's a 19. Let me check my bonus. First time I've done this. It is not a 19. I am wrong. It is a 16.
All right. It is a 16. A 16 will hit the Skrull. Go ahead and roll damage.
Sweet.
You fought Skrull before.
8.
8 damage to the Skrull. As he's, like, about to his legs are buckling, and you shoot him in the shoulders. Ah! But he is he's still alive, but he's hurt. That was a good shot. He is bloodied, in fact.
I will see if. Ooh. How far will my 30 feet get me onto the ship?
30 feet will get you right behind Chaplin here. You can probably jump over Chaplin if you want. What is your strength score?
Leave it as a 13. Let me check to verify. Yes, I lied. It is an 18.
An 18. You're gonna have no problem. You sort of get to here, jump over Chaplin's head to sort of like get to. Yeah, you'll have the height, and you'll get to here. You can sort of join beside the
Angling wise, I
commandant.
want to move to flank. So I don't want to move right next to Dionysus. I want to move, yeah, kind of to the other side.
I'll say with your exceptional strength, you could sort of like run down 5 feet, get a nice jump the rope, make it past the commandant. Well, actually, he kind of occupies the space, so.
Because I could have gone
Do
to
what?
the other side, right?
What do you mean the other side?
Like, okay, so once I got essentially shoulder to shoulder with Dionysus, instead of crossing screen left, I could have crossed screen right. Is that a possibility?
You could certainly give it a shot. It is more tricky because there are, lines and barriers, and there is a whole ballista to sort of jump over. So make me an athletics or acrobatics check.
That would be athletics. I believe that is a 21. Yes.
21. All right, so 25 is right there with your big jump, and 30 feet will put you. I'm gonna put you right here.
Perfect.
Yeah, because there's a huge ballista in the way. You can't really like mount that, so to speak, unless it was like an acrobatics thing. So we'll say.
Yeah, but
you're
I can tidy that up next round.
Exactly. All right, Yersinia, you managed to teleport onto the one of them pincers. What do you do?
Yeah. The rope they're planning on coming down. What are we looking at? Is that like is it actual rope, or is it like a ladder, a wood ladder situation?
It's a net ladder.
Gotcha. I'm a spellcaster. I'm not the strongest person in the world. What's my range with produce flame? I always forget what that throw is. Oh, I need within 30 feet. I'm gonna try and climb onto the ship. Get
Okay.
within 30 feet of the rope ladder, net rope ladder.
You climb up. At the end of your speed, you will end up right here.
Gotcha. Am I within 30 feet of a throwing distance by chance? Of the
30.
net ladder?
You certainly are.
Produce flame, and I'm just gonna hurl it at the presumably flammable net.
The most certainly is flammable rope net. You and a little fire begins to ignite over there. Definitely burns through the initial rope and begins to sort of eat away at the rest of the rope as it begins to catch flame.
Hell yeah.
And you hear the scrow sort of go. They sort of scream to each other in Orc. I don't think anyone here speaks Orc, but they sort of. They begin to sort of move with a haste after what you have done. Anything else?
I think that's it. I think right now that's all I can do. I'm gonna check out my turn there.
All right, Chaplin.
Okay. Let's see. How far am I away from Varsh?
Not too far. Varsh is right there. 20 feet from you, a little out of sight. Oh, no, you can see Varsh.
Yeah, I guess I meant movement-wise. Can I get to him?
It is a tricky climb. What's your strength score?
12.
It's not bad. 12. A little 4-foot jump. Do like a 5. Do a little 4-foot jump up there. Sort of climber up there. So it's 5. You're at about 10 feet. Half movement to climb up and over. You can get right there. and another 5 feet gets you to a touch range. So at 25, actually, no, we'll just call it 20 feet. At 20 feet, you're in touch range.
Okay. I'm going to, as I'm running. How far is it up where the orcs are?
Uh,
The top of the mangonel.
well, you have to climb the net, so that'll take a little bit of time to climb.
I mean,
'cause,
but what distance is that? Like as the
Uh,
crow fell distance
top of the net is about 30 feet.
from where we are.
Yeah, from where you are specifically.
Well, in that case, I don't need to touch Varsh. I'm going to cast Bane on 3 of the orcs.
What is the range on Bane?
30 feet.
Well, the top of the net is 30 feet. The actual scroll are beyond that.
But I have a little bit more movement, right? Can I get there?
That's right. I don't
think
think
it's
so,
like-
I'm afraid to say.
Yeah, like 10 more feet. That's all right. It's fine. I'll do what I was originally going to do then. All right. So on the way by, I'll touch Varsh and just give him guidance.
Okay. Little guidance to Varsh, prepared for some skill abilities next round. Very good. All right. If that is all, that'll bring us to the Scrow. I will say these Scrow do look less like the military Scrow that you would some of you would remember from the war. You would all remember, like, you know, they do have those like strange firearms, a little bit more sort of like militarily like dressed. These guys have sort of like old shitty weapons, and they don't have any gunpowder, and they're a little more like Scrow pirates than actual Scrow soldiers. At this point, they seem to be like struggling out here in wild space. This guy is going to, and he's going to fall on the ground per the command, and that'll be his turn. These guys upstairs are like, Gormiko, Goriko, and they're going to begin to descend. This guy is only going to make it about. This guy's going to make it to the edge at 5 feet, and he's going to clamber down only about to here. This guy's going to do the same. They're going to make their way down the ladder. They can dash, so I'll count for that now. Is it 20 feet? They're going to dash and get an extra 15. This one gets right to the fire, and he's going to sort of like drop past it. Or actually, he's a little blocked by the fire, so he's going to stop right here. This guy, however, uses his dash to drop right onto the deck. He sort of dashes all the way to the bottom and then lets go for the last 5 feet and ends his turn at the bottom of the ladder. This one is going to... where are you going? Where are you going? You get to the edge at 10 feet. He's going to make another 10 feet downward. He's going to do another 15 feet down. There's not enough space, so he's just going to hang out on the ladder. This guy is going to do something similar. End up a little behind his buddy on the net here, and then this guy's going to do the same thing. So this guy's going to have to run 20. He's only going to get 5 feet down the ladder, and then he can do another 15 feet down the ladder and get behind his buddy. And that, my friends, is almost the end of the Scrow turn, as there are people still manning the ship. The two big pincers at the front of the ship are going to try and grapple. Someone seems to be controlling them from within, and you would know, Chaplin, that the controls are actually inside the hull. So, claws are going to attack. This claw is going to have a nice fine reach on Bisan. So this one's going to try and grapple Bisan. Bisan, how does a 13 do?
Nope.
It, like, you see this giant claw coming in, and you get real close to the leg, and it snaps over your head and misses. This one is going to reach back as well and try and grab one of the elves. That is going to be a hit with a 16. This one begins to start making its way down the leg, and then the claw grabs it and brings it out, and she gets grappled in it. Is going to be stuck in this claw over here. Well within the claw. The claw. She is going to take. She's gonna take 2d10 damage. That could be lethal. Oh. It grabs onto her and she and then there's just casts her off into wild space. She is dead. Died on the first mission. Okay, let's see. That'll be it for the Scrow. The Commandant sort of snorts and he says, "For the new dawn!" And he is going to take out his big old gun. Or he's got a musket. My man's toting a musket. He's gonna run over here. Takes too many actions to use a ballista. He's gonna take out his musket. And he is going to fire at the guy at the very top. Oh, no, wait. He's got a fucking grenade, dude. What am I talking about? He's going to go, "For the new dawn!" And he's going to throw his force grenade at the Scrow threat coming in. Don't worry, he's really good with these. He's not going to hit you guys.
Force grenade? That's sexy.
Yeah, he's got a... Yeah, he's pretty sexy. Yeah, and he knows it. And this huge grenade goes off. All the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Scrow need to make dexterity saving throws. Failures. Yeah. And they all fail, just like your fathers. And there's going to be... just roll after the gift throws a grenade. Roll a d6 on a roll 4. Lower the those number. Oh, see if he has any more grenades. He still has a grenade. He has another one. He's a spare one. Each of them take a whopping 16 damage, and they all and they're all dead and defeated. He says, "Ha ha ha ha! Most excellent!" He looks at all of you and says, "Let's get below deck, men! And ladies! And everyone else!" And, yeah, all the Scrows sort of fall either off the ship or into a big heap at the bottom of the ladder, leaving only one alive. Let's get below deck, men! Go, go, go! So that's our gift friend with his grenade. And... this old lady is gonna get to here at the end of her turn, and she is just going to, and she's gonna hold. No, she's gonna get to there. She's gonna use her action to pull open the hatch. She's gonna kind of like go, 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 and that's gonna be our friendlies' turns. That's gonna bring us to Varsh Voidlight. There is one guy right beneath the Commandant who is like currently in a groveled state. The hatch has been opened to get below deck. What do you do?
Varsh, having witnessed the decimation of like 5 Scrow from one grenade, feels like a shudder down his spine. Thinking about, she's not gonna like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna jump down the hatch, and I will just straight up jump because I can, because I'm a Hadesy. I can just glide through.
Hell yeah, you just like expertly Batman glide down the hatch. And you are going to land, my friend. I'm going to say at the end of your... it's technically like a... How does your glide work? Tell me about your glide.
When you fall at least 10 feet above the ground, you can use reaction to glide horizontally a number of feet equal to your walking speed and take 0 damage from the fall. You determine the direction of the glide. So...
Alright, so we're going to say you've moved 10 feet. Yeah, we're going to say as of 10 feet, as of... Oh no, I lost him. Oh god, he's dead. Yeah, you jump in. So that'll put you, yeah, we're gonna call it 10 feet there. I am gonna drop you down an extra 5 just so we can keep track of you below deck. So you are at 15 feet right there, my friend. As you jump in, you see 2 Scrow operating mechanical equipment you expect is linked to the claws outside. So you know this guy on the left is the one who killed your elf crewman.
Yeah.
What do you do?
God, there's two of them. I'm gonna go for the one that killed the elf.
All
So
right.
as I glide over, and then I'm gonna swing the long sword.
God, he turns around, huh? And you can go for it.
17.
17 will hit. Roll damage.
And I'll use two hands for this. That's a 6.
6 damage. Not quite bloodied, but you still get him good. Anything else?
And that will be my turn. And I will
All right.
pray that everyone else gets down here to help me.
I need a hero. All right. Bisan. Yep, you see your Gif and Elven friends sort of go, go, go. What do you do?
I want to make a quick glance just to make sure that there is nobody currently manning stations that are hitting our ship.
Not on this deck, no. The only one that is currently in a groveled position on the deck, standing sort of like underneath the Commandant, who's like got his musket in his arm, and he's like, go, 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 we got everything up here! Down you go. All right, you sort of jump across to here, half of your speed, or it's half jump because it was a standing jump. So you get to like here, we'll call that 10 feet, and then you drop down below. We're gonna call that the end of your speed as you get to the below decks. You see your Hadozi friend working on one of the orcs, or excuse me, one of the Skrull, and there's another Skrull. What do you do?
The one that is currently being worked upon, I'm going to hit him with my sword.
All right. Got it. It's a little... Excuse me, sorry. There's a little crowd down here. My apologies. You get into a position there. You can take a slash at him as well. Go for it.
All right, that was an 18 plus 6 is 24? 24.
That'll certainly hit. 18 alone will hit.
Or 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. That is a dead Skrull. You drop down, and per all of the instruction, he's big. Skrull are big. They're the size of orcs. Much like the size of your gift friend, and you're like, you've been practicing, and you go low, and you strike him right in the belly, and he falls beneath your blade. All right.
I don't think that it's the whole. I don't think there's anything else I can do right now.
As a level 1 fighter, I think you are. That's good. Yeah, that's probably that. All right, Yersinia.
Into the hatch.
Into the hatch we go. You're like, oh god, battle fighting. You get there, 5. You're gonna make your way down the hatch. That's so hard. Why is my life so hard? There we go. Make your way down the hatch. It's a little 5 feet to the actual thing. You make your way down the ladder, and you're gonna land right there beside Bisan.
And there's still one more Skrull in here doing their thing still?
Yeah, turns around, draws his cutlass, and goes at you, Bisan. What do you do? Or Yersinia?
There's a small slap of the hands, and this like a rainbow-esque Bifrost almost energy appears. And I'm gonna cast Inflict Wounds.
All right, go for it.
Oh, that's a 17 on the die. So, spell modifier.
That'll hit. You're good.
Okay. Uh, 21 necrotic damage.
Holy shit. You grab him by the face, and he like full Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, opening the Ark at the end of the movie, just fully just goes concave like a skeleton. His skin just like all the moisture is just pulled from his body, and he completely becomes a husk and falls to the ground dead.
Fucking
terrifying.
gross.
Yeah, you're like, holy shit. You hear in your mind, very good.
No.
Bisan looks at Yersinia and is like, nice.
Dude, I get such hard Drax the Destroyer vibes from Bisan, I gotta say.
And Yersinia is going to is that a big door in front of us as well?
Big door. There's a door behind you and a door forward. You don't know the interior structure of a scorpion, so you're like, I don't know where that's, you don't know where it goes. Chaplin's quite intimate, but he's upstairs.
He's not here yet. I'll go to the door in front and open it if that's a free interaction. If not, I'll wait.
No free interaction. 5 feet at the end of your speed, you open up the door. Within, you see the Spelljammer sort of, the chair sort of turns around to face all of you.
That guy.
And he conjures fire to his hands, and he goes, ugh. But we'll deal with that in a second. Chaplin.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna drop down in.
Got it. You drop down.
And he-
No problem.
The Spelljammer currently has fire on his hands,
That's right.
and the closest person to them is Yersinia, right?
I think so, yes.
All right. Let me go ahead and cast Resistance on Yersinia.
All right. All right, resistance is up.
And that's the end of my turn.
Now, it's the end of your turn. All right, bear with me. Come on. Ooh, give me a second. That's right. Not working quite fast enough, are we? All right, let's see here. That'll bring us to, so you drop down, you do resistance. Sorry, my apologies. A little sidebarred here. Yeah, you have to kind of like fit through your friends a little bit because you're kind of running out of space down here. Or that's not true. You got the space right next to the ladder there.
I'll just climb on top of Scro. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you're just like right on top of his body, no problem. No worries. Okay, it is the Scro's turn. I gotta figure out what this Scro's about to do to you guys, because he's mean. Let's see. Okay, perfect. And okay, it's gonna turn to you from the actual seat. Is conjured fire to their hands. The fire is going to go off in the form of a guiding bolt, which is going to hit the person at the door, who is Yersinia. Yersinia, you threw open the door. I'm gonna shoot you.
It's not even gonna phase me.
Oh yeah, you don't think so?
No.
Well, you're quite lucky because he shoots it at you, and for whatever reason, the magic fizzles out. He goes, what? That's gonna bring us to some more Scro. The door swings open back here. The Scro, you turn around just in time, Bisan, to see the Scro up here, and he's going to come at you with his cutlass. That is going to be a natural 20. You, my friend, are going to take. You're gonna take. It's more than that. You're gonna take 14 points of slashing damage. Just you turn around and like a decisive slash from like right where the armor is thinnest. In a very lucky on his part, unlucky on your part slash. Which is gonna bring us to what
She
remains.
is barely standing.
All right, it is a deep and bloody cut in this moment.
Would have completely killed me. So glad I moved up.
Well, Meanwhile, upstairs, this Scrow is going to actually surrender. Is perfectly happy to surrender. Our gift friend is going to. These guys are just going to secure the top deck, and trust you all to handle down below, which is going to bring us to Vosh's turn. Vosh.
Okay. The controls for the left claw is right in front of me, right?
That's right.
Could I manipulate the claw to smash into the Spelljammer?
Let's give it a shot. You grab onto it, and you're gonna try and. I love it. Roll me a d20 plus 3.
Oh, please. That is 19 total.
19 is the armor class of the Scorpion ship. You meets it, beats it. You just turn it around, begin to smash into the hull. Roll me 2d10.
2D. Oh god, that's a lot.
Yep.
15.
15. So it grabs onto the own hull and it squeezes. Because it has to make its way through the hull to get to the guy that he's actually trying to clamp. I'm going to call it half damage. So you did 15. Call it 7. So it does clamp the middle, and he sort of and it sort of crushes him inside the actual hull. He's going to take 7 damage as he's sort of like awkwardly fit onto his helm and like in between the claw. And we'll say that he's like grappled between the two sheets of metal, so he can't move. He's stuck in his Spelljammer helm.
Cool. That'll be my turn, and I'll stay on the controls, hopefully to crush him next turn.
Fair enough. Bisan, you are grievously wounded. You're like holding your neck as blood flows. What do you do?
I mean, I'm gonna hit this guy.
Yeah, you turn around, you hit the guy, throw a second wind in there if you want, bonus action.
Oh, that's right. I can bonus action second wind. Thank you, sir. I will bonus action second wind, please.
All right, go ahead and roll it up. See
Because-
how much health you get back.
I desperately need to. Yeah, that's not bad. I'll take 8.
8. You sort of let your hand go from your neck. You sort of breathe in, fill your lungs with air, and you swing. Go ahead and make an attack.
Oh, yeah. Also, throwing dice on the floor, not helpful. Okay, but that should hit because that's a 17, and I think it's a +6, which would be a 23.
That will easily hit. Well beyond their 13 AC.
For 11 points of damage.
Ooh, equally decisive blow. This guy is heavily bloodied as you like stab him. They're thick and they're strong, mighty beings, but you stab your blade and run them right through the chest. But they like grab onto your hand and sort of growl in your face.
And oddly enough, Bisan smiles and growls right back.
All right. Love it. If there's nothing else. All right, Yersinia, what do? The Spelljammer is sort of restrained by like a very like decisive move from Varsh Voidlight. Has been like basically grappled by their own dented hull in the chair, like sort of like folded over themselves. And there's you're being attacked from your flank. What do you do?
That guy's not going anywhere.
No.
Look back to the one that Bisan is wrestling with. Yeah, I'm gonna look at it and make sure I've got this right, because this is one of the newer things I get to do. Okay, I'm gonna make a wisdom saving throw as I look at it, and I very nervously belt out just a and just cast my little cackle cantrip straight towards it.
Oh, okay, you little cackle cantrip. Go for it. What do I have to do there?
It is a wisdom saving throw.
All right, that's gonna be an 11 to save.
That fails.
That fails. Go ahead and roll damage, or whatever you do. This is a new cantrip.
It is damage. It is 6 psychic damage.
Ooh, 6 psychic damage. You let out this like cackle, and the orc sort of as if Yersinia's what maybe was supposed to come out as a like maybe in Yersinia's head it was like comes out as like a and he like and he just like falls over dead in like pervicious mockery. Did you guys have this like, wait, what? Like this kind of weird moment?
Yersinia like coughs awkwardly.
Oh my god.
That's the end of her turn.
You hear in your head, yes, we'll work on that.
You did it so you've had practice. I haven't.
As I said, we'll work on it.
Okay.
You hear Yersinia. I imagine you're saying this out loud, Yersinia?
Yeah,
or...
in her nerves, absolutely.
So you hear Yersinia sort of like have a private conversation to themselves. Okay. You don't hear you don't hear my end, but you hear Yersinia's end. If there's nothing else, that'll bring us to Chaplin. Chaplin, there's one guy restrained in his own chair. What do you do?
Yeah, that's the only guy remaining on the ship that we're aware of, right?
That's right. That's right.
That is a good question then. I guess I'm gonna walk over and give him a bonk.
All right, give him a little bonk. All right, go for it.
As long as we're can I check to make can I listen to make sure there's nobody else on board this ship?
If you want to use your action to do a perception check, you can do that instead.
I don't want to do that. All right, let me do the bonk.
All right, you have advantage because he's restrained.
I still only got a, I got a 13. That's all right. I'll let it go. 13.
You try and bonk him, but he's kind of like, you can't get a good angle because he's like like folded in his chair. This is at advantage, as a reminder. You rolled advantage?
Yeah, that was with advantage.
Oh, okay. You're like, yeah, I got him now, and you try to swing on him, and it's sort of like, you sort of like bonk him in the head, and it's like, oh, stop! Stop it! It's more of like a poke rather than like an actual damaging blow. Very Chaplin, very Chaplin. The Scroll says, enough! You've proven your point, I surrender. And with that
works for me.
If nobody wishes to, I mean, you guys are alone in the hall. No one would ever know if you have vengeance to meet out here. But does anyone wish to accept his surrender?
Varsh is acutely aware that there is an observer. Kind of like closes his eyes and like twists the mechanism to have the claw crush the scroll.
Oh,
I will say here, Varsh, really quickly. You have him clamped in his chair, and you guys were told very early on, a Spelljammer helm is the true prize of any take. If you turn this, you will destroy the Spelljammer helm with him.
Ooh, conundrum already. Conundrum in system 2.
Your choice.
If
You can, of course, just bring a blade.
In that case, I just kind of remove myself from the controls and walk up and execute with the
are
longsword.
we able to do stuff right now?
Yeah, he goes like, I surrender. Varsh sort of like lets go of the controls and sort of walks forward.
Command. I don't like that.
So here's what my question to you is, Yersinia. Would you have cast this as Varsh is approaching, or as Varsh raises their blade?
Probably as the blade is raised.
All right, so
I
I will
don't
say
trust
this.
that.
Command is an action to cast, not a reaction. So
Oh.
I'll say, in the moment, as Varsh takes their action in sort of an initiative sense, raises the blade as you bring your hand up to cast command. And before you can get the spell off, Varsh, the guy folds it over, his neck fully extended perfectly outwardly. Varsh slices him nape from neck. And that is the combat.
Wow.
All right.
Bisan's going to sit down for kind of melt against the wall and look at Chaplin and say, "So you fix people too?"
I do. I'm actually very good at it. Would you like some help?
Could I get a repair?
Sure. All right.
In person, I have to run off, but I figure this is a good spot to run away.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
Okay.
We'll end a little early here then. We'll call it combat completed. Well done. Everybody levels up.
Woohoo.
Oh yeah.
All right. Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. We'll call the session there.
Later.
Yay!
Take care.
Oh boy, it's two
Awesome.
defining